Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast here on the Solano College Sports Network. I'm Greg Poff, along with my broadcast partner, the former Bulldog himself, David Taub, here on the Solano College Sports Network. Well, folks, tonight we're at Tom Zunino Stadium in the city of Vacaville, here at Vacaville High School, for what should be an excellent football matchup tonight as the Napa Indians come to Vacaville to take on the Vacaville Bulldogs. Vacaville 4-3 on the season, 2-0 in MEL play. And Napa, on the other hand, 4-3 on the season, but 1-1 in MEL play. And really, their chances for a title really will end or continue tonight. They really need to win against Vacaville to have any chance to win the MEL title. David, what are some keys to tonight's game?
Definitely, Greg. Coach Mott, actually, speaking to him earlier today, called it a must-win game. Keys for Vaca, they need to get David Mewborn the ball. He's really their playmaker. And they have to focus on stopping Austin Eric and Derek Poteet. These guys are big for Napa. They also must continue to dominate the run game. And for Napa, they have to get Austin Aaron and Derek Poteet the ball early and often, focus on stopping David Mewborn, and force Chad Hecking to beat them through the air rather than getting beat on the ground by this Vaca high run game.
Well, Vacaville, when you look at their schedule, of course, we all know they started off with that thrilling win over Valley Christian from San Jose, winning that game 20-17, and then went down to Stockton, took on a pretty tough Lincoln High School squad, and defeated them 56-35. But then they really hit the rough spot in their non-conference schedule. 3 losses in a row to Granite Bay. We had that game for you on the Solano College Sports Network.
Hard-fought game.
Then they went to Oak Ridge, lost that 28-14, and then lost their final non-conference game here at Tom Zunino Stadium, 45-34 to Deer Valley. But now, once they're in MEL play, they've reeled off 2 wins in a row against Vintage and Armio.
You know, they have a chance. We talked about their 3-game losing streak that they had at that last bit of non-league play. They have a chance tonight to make it a 3-game win streak and get it going on the right path for the rest of MEL play here. Very important game. This game always has a huge amount of importance on MEL standings. Usually Napa and Vaca are right there at the very top of the MEL. So what happens tonight could very well determine the MEL champion for this season.
Yeah, and don't forget about the Will C. Wood Wildcats over on the other side of Vacaville. They're off to their best start in quite some time, 6-1 on the season. And if they keep to their winning ways, in 2 weeks we could have another exciting matchup here on the Solano College Sports Network. And David, I can't remember the last time that Will C. Wood beat a Vacaville Bulldog football team.
Very true.
Have to go back to probably the mid-1990s.
I would say so. I can't remember the last time Vaca High was built by Wood. I can't remember the last time Wood was even in a conversation of being a MEL title contender, but they are really stepping it up this year. They're looking like a real football team. It's refreshing to see that, actually, because 2 weeks we have the Black and Blue Bowl here. It could actually be a game instead of a blowout, and that would be a difference. And you said best season, actually their best season since '97. So quite a few years since Will C. Wood has been playing the type of football they're playing right now.
Well, Wood is taking on another team tonight, but we're here at Tom Zunino Stadium for the Vacaville Bulldogs against the Napa Indians. And there, as you look out on the field, they're giving a couple scholarship awards. First, you saw Connor Canellis from Vacaville out there getting a scholarship. And now, if you look down on the field, you see number 16. That's Jack Good. He's a senior for the Napa Indians getting his scholarship award as well. Well, as soon as we have these presentations completed, we'll be ready to go here at Tom Zunino Stadium. There you see Vacaville heading over to the bench to get ready, and then we'll get to the coin flip and the opening kickoff.
You know, you mentioned Connor Canales out there picking up a scholarship with the Great American Rivalry organization, which is also covering the game tonight. Connor and Wyatt Faulkner were a couple of those guys that Coach Mott said that Napa really had to prepare for, that they could be a couple guys that cause them some trouble tonight. So watch out for number 44, Connor Canales, and number 40, Wyatt Faulkner at that outside linebacker spot to make a lot of plays tonight.
Yeah, Connor Canellis, he's a fun kid to watch out there. And
All
he
over the
lines up
place.
at the cornerback position, but Coach Pop, he'll move him all around. He's almost like you said, an outside linebacker. He'll be all over the field. And Canellis comes in with 28 tackles on the season, but 18 of those are solo tackles. So kid gets after it defensively.
Definitely.
Well, who
that's
else
definitely
has stood
true.
out for you as a former Bulldog player when you look at this Vacaville squad in 2013?
You know what really stood out to me the first couple games we were here was the Bulldogs not having Jeremy Sweeney on their sideline really forced a lot of kids to step up and fill some big shoes, and I think it's going to help them in the long run because now they have depth at those spots. Jeremy's able to come back and be his usual type of great player he is, but then, you know, if something happens, Jeremy goes down with an injury, they have someone that they can call right up and really not miss much quality in play. So all the way across the board with the linebacking core, Gunnar Ziegler has stepped up real big this year, 24 tackles, 16 solo. Another guy, Wyatt Faulkner, he's playing big. And watch out for these safeties like Kane Cunningham and Daniel Mewborn to show up big tonight also. They have playmakers all over the place.
Yeah, Vacaville usually very solid defensively, and they've given up some big scores, but again, those have been to some of the top teams in Northern California, Granite Bay, Deer Valley, and other teams come to mind like Oak Ridge. Well, it looks like we're finally ready to get things going here. Vacaville will be kicking off. Napa will be receiving, and it looks like Mitch Spinelli is back there to receive along with Devon Gorsuch, one of the wide receivers. So Vacaville all set, and folks, we are ready to go here. And the kick is up, and it looks like it's a little squib kick right to the middle. And one of the Indians has it, takes it just across the 30-yard line, up past the 35. So Napa, not bad field position as they will start on offense. And when you look at the Napa Indians, and you mentioned this in your keys, they've got to control Kyle Beaver and they've got to contain Derek Poteet, and they've got a pretty good wide receiver in Austin Aaron. Keep your eyes on number 17, folks. He's already broken a couple career records for the Indians, and the kid's only a junior.
Kid's a big-time player. He's responsible for 661 of Napa's total offense. Let's see what happens here.
All right, so Kyle Beaver gives it to the first back up the middle and gets a little bit of a surge, picks up a couple yards there.
It's Luke Campton on the run, just putting his head down and banging it up in there for a couple hard yards.
Yeah, Luke Campton, very durable running back,
durable.
senior 5'11", 200-pounder. And also Derek Poteet in the backfield as well, number 13. Keep your eye on him, folks.
And Luke's, like you said, very durable. He averages 5.3 yards a carry. Really gets in there, gets after it.
Direct snap to Beaver. He runs to the near sideline, and there he's tackled by a host of Vacaville defenders led by number 2, Drew Chitwood, in as a defensive back, getting the start tonight for the Bulldogs.
And you saw Dean get in there first, but he was met with a whole host of Bulldogs at that play, and that's something they always preach. Hats to the ball, physical style of football. But that's both these teams, you know, bread and butter. They're both very physical teams. It's going to be a night of some hard hitting.
Yeah, these teams have had some battles over the years. So now Beaver back behind center, gives to the first guy through. It's probably going to be Campman, and maybe picks up a yard and a half there. So he's going to be short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up fourth and about a yard.
And we see them really, really relying on this run game early here. Three runs in a row.
They gave him the first down, David. Excuse me. I thought he was a little short.
That looked short to me.
Well, if you were looking at the chains,
Exactly.
It looked like it was short. I don't know if they had the chain stretched on the sideline, and I think that's what the officials coming over there to do now, make sure those guys on the chain gang are setting up and stretching that chain. So first down for the Indians. Beaver back in the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it to one of his running backs, cuts to the near side, and they're met again by that solid defense for the Bulldogs, led by number 63. That would be Jeremiah Lamau. In to make the stop.
And that's the first time Derek Petit has had his number called tonight, a junior with 591 yards on the season and 7 touchdowns. This kid's a big player for them. If they don't watch out, he could really burn them at any time he wants.
So second down, about 7.5 yards to go. Beaver back in the pistol. This time gives it to Mac Nielsen, and he gets it just across the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard or two.
And you know what? They've gone to the run just about every play. I don't think we've seen the ball go in the air for Napa yet. And when I had a chance to talk to Coach Mott earlier today, he was talking about how the most important thing they need to do for this offense and to make sure they have success is to establish a running game.
And
so
it looks like that's exactly what they're trying to do.
That is exactly what they're trying to do. And even if it's these little chunks of yardage, 2-3 yards here and there, they're going to move the chains and just keep grinding this defense down.
All right, there's a snap to Beaver, gives to the next guy through. That's Spinelli, and he's going to be up close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot.
And you know what? Let's see if Coach Mott here tries to lull this Vacaville defense to sleep in the secondary a little bit by continuing to pound the ball on the ground and hopefully open up something big over the top. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to the air right here.
And the Indians already showing a lot of depth at the running back position. Campton's carried the ball, Spinelli and Nielsen. So they've got a lot of guys that can tote the rock. We might even see Kevin Massey in there. And, of course, you know about Derek Poteet. All right, so Beaver behind center. Gives it to number 10, and he breaks through. He might go all the way. He's to the 20, the 10, and touchdown for the Napa Indians. That's Luke Campton. It was just a fullback play right up the middle, and he just kept going.
Just refusing to go down. You see him take that first contact and run straight through it. That's because he never stopped his feet at one time during that play. You can't arm tackle this kid. Come up, wrap up, get low, and form tackle him, or he's going to do that to you all night long.
And he ran right by Jeremy Sweeney, the big nose tackle on that play. All right, so Napa will go for the extra point. Julio DiHaro, the kicker. The kick is up, and it's good.
You know, and Jeremy's a great player. It's that's just one of those plays. You're going to end up getting those every once in a while on him. But what Jeremy really needs to focus on right there at that nose guard spot is getting extension with his arms so that he can come off and play two gaps at that nose guard position so he doesn't have a chance to pick a gap on him.
Also, too, it looked like Kane Cunningham, one of the safeties, had a chance to make a tackle. And, boy, Campton blew right by him as well. And Campton showing some speed there. The little fullback really getting it going there, and he just blew through the whole defense, kept going, took it all the way to the house. Indians on top early in this one, 8:38, and Napa up 7-0 over the home Bulldogs.
And along with that speed, showed a little bit of some of his strength on that one, too, running right over a Bulldog on his way to the end zone.
All right, well, we were hoping we would get a game tonight and kind of banking on the fact that Napa really needs to get a win after dropping a close one here at Thompsonino Stadium last week against Will C. Wood. So and Napa off to a big start.
And as I said before when I had a chance to talk to Coach Mott, he said their backs are against the wall after dropping that big one to Wood last week, and this is, quote-unquote, a must-win for this Napa Indian team.
Well, they're playing like it early in this one. There's a kick. It's a high one. One of the Bulldogs fields it on the 15 and cuts to the near side, back to the middle. That's Kane Cunningham and jumps over the 40-yard line. So Vacaville will take over probably right about their own 42-yard line.
Right after we talk about Campton showing some of his speed, we have a Bulldog right there showing just that they can match the speed just as easily on the other side. And I like that little dive to pick up a couple extra at the end.
Yeah, that was a nice little jump. He got about another 3 yards. Looked like he was diving into the end zone. So nice effort there by Cunningham. And you'll see him in the backfield a lot tonight. Not a starter, but he'll get some carries. And so Chad Hecking sets up behind his center, Daniel Woolbridge. And he's got a couple Bulldogs in the backfield behind him. Hecking ready, and he fakes the give. He's going back to throw. He throws it over the middle. That looked like that was 15. Tanner Donaldson makes the catch. That'll be enough for a first down.
You know, and Tanner really is his favorite target out there. Tanner has 414 yards on the season so far, about 200 more than any other receiver on this Bulldog team. And, you know, I think they really caught him off guard right there. You know, every Napa player on that D was thinking run, run, run all day.
All right, Hecking ready, and this time he's going to give it to the first guy through, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage by a host of tacklers for the Napa Indians.
And just going back to that last play right before this one, I love that decision by Coach Pop and Chris Santapadre, Vacaville's offensive coordinator over there, to throw on first down, because you know Napa was not expecting that from Vacaville.
Yeah, and it looked like Napa might have been in a zone defense, and Donaldson found a spot right in the middle of the seam, made the catch. This time another fake. No! Hecking, I thought he gave it to Mewborn, but actually gave it to the first guy through. I'm going to bet that's Connor Canellis, and he picks up a few yards there.
You know, he faked me on that one. I was watching Daniel Newborn running off to the right side with no rock in his hand.
Yeah, I thought that was a play fake by Hecking. He was going to go back and throw, but actually gave it to the first guy through. Picks up a couple yards.
And I believe that was Demetrius Nunez on the carry.
All right, Hecking again gives it to the wingback. No, he keeps it. He gives it to Newborn. It cuts to the near side of the field, and it looks like he's going to have just enough for a first down. Boy, Hecking looking like a point guard handling the rock tonight.
And that was a simple fake and dump it off behind him. David came around on the sweep behind him, picked it right out of his hands, and took it out to the first down. And, you know, David is really a huge key player for this offense. 970 yards, 10 touchdowns. Keep getting him the ball, and that's a key to success right there.
All right. Hecking scrambles up quickly to the line of scrimmage and gives it to the first guy through, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. One of the defensive ends, I think it might have been Braden Eggert, there to stop him, number 76.
You know, it's something we haven't touched on yet tonight. There is going to be a huge battle in the trenches. Both of these offense and defensive lines for both teams are taught to play physical football. They are going to be battling there. If you see number 76 for Napa's D-line,
Brandon Eggert.
Braden Eggert, 6'7", 315. Kid's ready for college right now.
All right, Hecking this time gives it to the first guy to the outside and picks up a couple yards. So Napa really tough, being very stingy against the run tonight. Hecking's been able to pick up yards by going through the air.
Stingy against the run. That's exactly how Coach Papadopoulos described them earlier this week. He said, you know, don't take last week into effect too much while looking at them because they are much more stingy than they look on paper after that game.
Demetrius Nunez on the carry last time. This time Hecking going back to throw. He's got time, scrambles to the far side, throws it too high for the intended receiver. I think that was Nunez, number 30. Just couldn't climb the ladder and bring that one down.
You know, it's nice to see Nunez in there after not seeing him too much the last time we were out here against Granite Bay. Kid's running hard. If he can get just a little bit of a seam or a gap from one of his linemen, he could very easily take it to the house for 6.
Yeah, the senior running back has excellent speed, comes into tonight's game, 20 carries, 157 yards, averaging almost 8 yards a pop. So Hecking once again under center. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 in the backfield. Hecking goes back to pass, rolls out to the near side. He's got a receiver over the middle, throws it to Donaldson. He catches it just past the 30-yard line where he's tackled by a bunch of Indians, and there's a flag on the play. That was Colton Forster really scrambling to drag Donaldson to the ground.
And Hecking's lucky he got that ball out of his hands quick enough, because if you saw number 19, Quinn May, who is one of these impact players for Napa playing both ways, really came in and gave him a shot straight to the chest.
Also, number 10, Campton, in on the tackle. And trying to see what the call was on the field, David.
They went for it on 4th and were short by about a couple inches. Tanner just wasn't able to extend that ball for that little extra chunk to get that first down.
And thought there was a flag on the play. I know I saw one. I think the ref picked up the flag, waved off the penalty, so no chance for Vacaville there, just short. Napa takes over on downs, and Beaver leads his troops up to the line of scrimmage. 2 guys in the backfield, gives it to the first guy, that's probably Campton, and he fights for a couple yards.
No surprise, right back to the run game, which Vacaville hasn't been able to stop so far tonight, and as long as it's successful, expect them to stay with it. Coach Mott sounded like a huge fan of the run game when I talked to him today. Was preaching that is really the key to success, that the balance that their offense has had is great, but he really wants to get this run game going, and so far it's been working great.
Keep your eye on number 17, though, the wide receiver. Pretty soon they're going to go to him, and they do. There's a throw to Aaron, and just over his head.
Great call,
Knew they
Pop.
were setting up for the pass, getting that run game going before they try to go to their record-breaking wide receiver, Austin Aaron, number 17. You know sooner or later tonight he's going to have an impact on this game.
And it's going to be just like that. It's going to be on one of those plays where Vacaville is expecting a run again. Austin's going to get a big one over the top, and it's most likely going to end up either 6 or a gigantic gain for this Indian offense.
Beaver also has the big tight end. You were talking about him on defense. Quinn May, 6'5", 205-pounder, also a target that Beaver likes to go to. All right, Beaver set. He's going back to pass. He's looking for Quinn May, but throws it over his head. No chance for the big guy. That was actually Austin Aaron, number 17, that he was throwing to. Austin Aaron, I was kind of fooled, didn't realize he was 6'4", another tall kid, just like Quinn May at 6'5", so 2 big targets for Kyle Beaver.
You know, they do have some taller guys out there catching the ball. The shortest one they have is 6'1", and Devon Gorsuch, I'm sorry about that. 6'1", 150. You know, he's the smallest guy they have, but still above 6 feet tall. And then, like you said, Quinn May, 6'5", and Austin at, 6'6". Both these guys are huge targets for Kyle Beavers.
So penalty against Vacaville is going to be defensive holding. That's an automatic first down, and Napa takes over right about the 40-yard line. So Beaver back. Fisher coming up, I guess wants to reset the mark, make sure everything's set to go. There you see Dom Ruffino, the center, and Beaver now in the pistol. Takes the snap, gives it to the last guy through. That's Poteet, and boy, he's hit right behind the line of scrimmage. You got to think Jeremy Sweeney was probably in there wreaking havoc on the offensive line for the Indians.
And it's hard to tell exactly who's making solo tackles from this far up because there's just so many black hats around the ball at all times. It's almost impossible to see who exactly made first contact.
And that's how you want your defense
exactly,
to play.
Of course.
To the football,
of course.
Gang tackle, and that's what you're seeing from the Bulldogs.
That's one of those things
Except
you hear ever
play
since
by
you're
Campton.
5. Yep.
All right, Beaver set. Under center this time. Gives it to Campton. He's met at the line of scrimmage. And once again, David, just like you were talking about, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black shirts around the ball.
I think the only guy that wasn't involved on that tackle was number 7, Daniel Mewborn, because he was covering the wide receiver on his route.
You know, and that should be a nice battle tonight if we see Mewborn kind of matched up on Austin Aaron, although Mewborn, the safety, probably Connor Canellis or Michael Walker will have the main responsibility of trying to contain Austin Aaron for the Indians.
And that was one of the huge things Pop was talking about. He said that staying in front of these guys like Austin Aaron, Derek Poteet is huge for them to do tonight.
So penalty before the play can be completed. I'm going to guess that's going, timeout. And so Napa calls a timeout, David, and getting towards the end of the first quarter, 3:32, and boy, Napa playing like a team that really needs a win tonight.
Definitely. You can tell they're out there with a mission. When I talked to Coach Mott earlier, I asked him, do you think these guys have something to prove tonight? And his answer was, definitely. That they use this game as really the biggest game of their season. And after last week, dropping a tough one to Wood in the same stadium a week ago, they really want to walk out of here with a win. They said it left a bad taste in his mouth, something he doesn't want to experience again.
And if you look at time of possession, even though we're still early in the first half, 3:32 left in the first quarter, Napa has had the ball most of the time. Vacaville, of course, had the one drive, picked up a first down or two, but had to give it up on downs when Napa was able to hold them from picking up a yard, actually less than a yard, to pick up a first down. So Napa keeping the ball on the ground, ball control, controlling the clock. Looks like a pretty good recipe so far for the Indians.
That was another thing Coach was preaching is ball or time of possession, holding onto that ball, controlling it, not giving these Bulldogs a chance to put it in the end zone.
All right, timeout is over. Indians line up, and boy, a lot of different formations for the Indians. This time Beaver going back to pass and doesn't have a chance to get it off. Looked like a blitz from number 21, Chris Irving. Actually, Chris Irving was a defensive end, so coming in from his DN spot. Nice play.
Chris Irving looks like he picks up his first sack of the game to add to his 40 tackles so far on the season. It didn't really look like he even got touched coming in there. I wonder if it was a miscommunication on Napa's line.
All right, so Napa, fourth down. They'll have to punt it away. So nice stop by the Bulldogs. Little sidewinder kick, and it's going to dribble out of bounds right about the 40-yard line for the Bulldogs. So good field position as Vacaville takes over for their second possession on the evening.
Going with the rugby-style kick right there. Gives his punter an option to roll out, see if there's anything there. Waste a little bit more time off the clock. Time of possession, huge thing for them tonight. As long as they're able to stop this run from Vaca High's offense and keep the ball in their hands, they should come out of here looking pretty good.
All right, well, let's find out. Bulldogs ready to go. 2:52 remaining in the first quarter. Hecking behind center. Gives it to Mewborn, tries to get outside and gets to about the, looks like he gets to about the 48, 47-yard line. So it looked like Mewborn in the wingback position just came around behind Hecking, took the ball and tried to get around the edge, picks up a few, not enough for the first down, but good play for first down.
And both these Mewborn brothers have great game speed, and that's really what allowed him to pick up any yardage on that one.
This time they go right up the gut, but nothing doing. As a running back for the Bulldogs, met by the entire defensive front of the Napa Indians. Up there led by Ruben Gonzalez, 56, one of the outside linebackers, and Chad Frazier, the big nose guard. So Tanner Donaldson split to the near side of the field, Hecking behind center. This time he gives it to the first guy through and picks up another couple yards. So Vacaville, a lot like the Indians, keeping the ball on the ground for the most part here in the first quarter.
And I can only imagine that we're going to just see more of this all night long. As long as it stays successful for both teams, they're going to keep depending on this run game to move the chains.
All right, so fourth down. Napa holds. Vac is going to punt it away. David Hecking, double duty, back as the punter. And Mitch Spinelli back for the Indians. The kick is up, bounces at about the 10-yard line, and is going to stop right in front of the 5-yard line. So nice kick by Hecking, kind of angled it over to the sideline on the far side of the field, and Napa will take over deep in their own territory.
They're going to take over right around the 5-yard line, Greg, and they're going to keep trying to wear this defense down. They're going to keep wearing them down with this run until they see him fatigue, and once they do, they're going to take advantage of that fatigue and hit them with some passes. I know it's coming. Kyle Beavers is a capable quarterback, had a bad game last game, and I'm sure he wants to prove that he's able to be just as efficient as he was before that Wood game.
Well, he's only thrown it 2 times tonight, and both of those passes have sailed a little bit high. Let's see if they go with the pass here. No, he gives it to the running back through. I think it was 17. That might have been Austin Aaron on an end around, but boy, Bulldogs not fooled there. Number 63 coming in to make the stop for the Bulldogs, and helped out by a couple of his partners in the black jerseys as well.
You know, this Vaca High defense has great eyes, great vision. They can see everything that's going on, and this Vaca High linebacking core does a great job of scraping to the gaps, getting to where the ball is going to be, and meeting it there with a couple of black hats every time.
All right, so Napa set. Beaver standing right at his own goal line, so he's going to have to be careful here. And there's a break in the action. I think it's going to be a timeout, again, called by Napa. Not sure. Boy, sometimes when you're doing these high school games, it's hard to get a signal from the official, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And, you know,
well, not a timeout.
I had a chance to talk to Coach Pop a little bit earlier this week, and we were talking about Kyle, who we just mentioned. And he said they have a solid running game and that their wide receivers are going to pose big troubles for this Vaca High secondary because they are outmatched in size and physicality at the cornerback spots.
That time, Beaver gave it to Poteet, it looks like. Picks up maybe a yard at best, so Napa still really backed up. And that's going to bring up second down.
Let's see if they go over the top here. It looks like third and maybe about 15 from where I'm standing.
And I think there's a Vacaville Bulldog on the field. Can't quite see the number, so there's a break in the action. There you see Orlando, one of our crack camera people trying to zoom in and get us a number. Boy, too, and while we have a break in the action, this game is being brought to you by the students at Solano Community College in the sports broadcasting program. David Taub, one of our student broadcasters, Mike McLeod, and Brian Nelson doing an excellent job over on the board, running graphics and the switching board. Ashley Lyons on one camera, Ashley Wilson on the other.
And that's number 23, DeAndre Lewis, that was down. He looks like he's getting up and moving, getting off the field with a little bit of help, but mostly under his own power.
And our executive producer, you cut me off. I'm trying to get to the more. He's giving me the evil eye. Aren't you going to talk about me over here? Stas Samoida, our executive producer. Carry on, David.
DeAndre Lewis, it's good to see him get up and get off the field in his own power. You never like to see a guy go down. It's always a scary thing. See if he gets checked and gets a chance to get back in this game.
All right. So Napa ready, injured player off the field, and that's going to be it. They let the clock run down. That's it for the first quarter at the end of 1 quarter of play. Napa up over the home Bulldogs, 7-0. Folks, we'll be right back after a couple messages.
Hello, everyone. Ashley Lyons here at the Solana Community College Broadcasting Studio. I'm here to tell you about a very great event coming up on October 30th called Dig for Pink. The Solana Community College Lady Falcons will be playing Yuba College in a very intense volleyball match. And all proceeds, that includes concession sales, ticket sales, everything will be going towards breast cancer awareness. So come out and support a great cause and also watch a very intense match between these two leading teams. Thank you and have a very pink October.
Well, hi, everybody. Greg Poff here in the Solana College Sports Network Studio B to talk about a great opportunity for any of you that are aspiring sports broadcasters, or perhaps you just like to work behind the scenes when it comes to sports broadcast productions. Here at Solana Community College, we are one of the few colleges in the nation that have an actual sports broadcasting class, Communication Studies 75. You can take that class any semester here at Solano, and we'd sure like to see you here in the spring semester every Wednesday afternoon here in the Solano Community College TV studio. We've got a job for you. Could be behind the mic, could be running the CGs, running the switcher board, or even behind a camera. Lots of opportunities to get involved and learn what it takes to have a career in sports broadcasting. Also look for All right, we're ready to go. Start of the second quarter. Napa still backed up deep. And Beaver takes the snap. He drops back. He's going to throw it over the middle. I don't know who he was throwing to unless it was a hold, and I think it was. That's going to be a penalty on number 22, Jonathan Burke. He was holding the receiver, and that prevented the receiver from getting over to the middle of the field because it looked like it was just a terrible throw by Beaver.
It did, but you know what? There was definitely some contact there, whether it was holding or PI. I'm not exactly sure which. Holding, it looks like.
So that's going to be an automatic first down for Napa, so gets them out of the hole. At least now they have some breathing room, and it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Indians. There you see the official marching off the penalty.
You know, quarterback Kyle Beavers has got to be pretty happy about that. It's never fun taking the snap in your own end zone.
Yeah, he was going, thank goodness for that hold, because I don't know if that pass would have met the intended receiver. It looked like it was going to be short. So unfortunate penalty for the Bulldogs. If you're a Vacaville fan, Napa, on the other hand, they can breathe a little easier now and try to keep this drive going. Already on top, 7-0. Direct snap to Beaver. He's going to cut to the near side, but doesn't get much. Connor Canellis, and boy, we told you at the start of the broadcast he'd be a guy's name we're calling a lot. Makes a nice solo tackle there. Stops Beaver for maybe a pickup of about 2 yards.
You know, Connor's just got a nose for the ball, and it always guarantees him being close around there somewhere. Involved in so many plays, it's ridiculous. But you know what? What I saw was big number 76 from Napa, Eggert, moving a Bulldog out of the line just to make a huge hole for Beavers to make that play a couple yards there. And, you know, Eggert's already committed to Washington State. He's going to be heading up there at the end of the season.
There's a direct snap to the quarterback, and he's going to go all the way to the house. He's past midfield. He gets to the 20, the 10. Oh, my goodness, Newborn almost caught him. But he is into the end zone for a touchdown. And I think that was Poteet taking a direct snap from the quarterback and taking it to the house. Oh, my.
There goes Poteet, adding probably another 70 yards onto his 591 on the season already. The kid is at another level of speed. You saw when he got past the linebackers right there, he just turned it on and turned those afterburners on and got after it. Burned this Vaca High defense to the end zone. The only guy that had a chance was Mooborn, and he had a couple fingers on him there at the end.
Boy, he really closed that gap, though. I was surprised. DeHaro going for the PAT and knocks it through. I think DeHaro might be perfect on the season. With his PATs, he is now 6 for 6 on the season. And, you know, back to the play, David, I was a little surprised because I saw the direct snap, and because of the position of the jersey, I thought it was 18 instead of 13. But, boy, once Poteet got to the middle of the field, that wasn't any Beaver running there. That was Kyle Poteet. He turned on the afterburners.
Oh, yeah.
But Mewborn, he's even a little faster, almost caught him there. But Napa, 14-0 lead
with
here
the
in the second
all
quarter.
On the run. All on the run. Haven't had a single lick of success in the air yet, but it doesn't seem that they need to. As long as they're able to keep doing this on the ground, keep feeding them the rock and let them do it with their feet.
Yeah, if you would have told me going into the second quarter tonight that Aaron and May would not have a reception, I would think that the Napa Indians would be in trouble. But no, they are playing smash mouth football. They are taking it right to Vacaville, and they're up by 2 TDs.
And the thing is, Napa's really found their identity in this game, I feel like. They know the run is working for them, and they're not even thinking about moving away from it. They really found what their identity needs to be against this Vaca High defense this game.
So squibber by DeHaro, and one of the Bulldogs, he just falls on it. Good decision right there at the Bulldog 25-yard line. That was Jonathan Burke, one of the safeties, back in kick receiving coverage, able to fall on that one. So Vacaville, they're going to take over here. They're going to take over right at their own 25-yard line. They really need a drive here to try to get on the board, get into this game.
And it looks like after watching a couple kicks here, neither team wants to give their speedy returners on either side a chance to get the ball.
I think that's a good decision.
Definitely.
Hecking behind center and gives it to Mewborn. David around the edge, and you want to talk about afterburners? Look at this kid go! 30, 20, into the end zone. How's that for an answer?
You know, Petit comes in and says, hey, check it out, I'm fast. And David comes right back and says, me too.
He said, you thought my brother was fast.
David Mewborn, number 9, on the 70-plus yard carry to the house. The kid has great game speed. That's what Pop said earlier this week. Proving it right there to all you fans watching.
And they really run that play to perfection, where they have Mewborn set up in the wing position just behind Sweeney at tight end, comes around behind Hecking. Little trap play following the pulling guard. You know all about that from your Bulldog days. And Mewborn got a seam, and once he got ahead of the defense, no one was going to catch him.
Exactly what I was going to say. Looking at that play, I can look back to my playbook right now, tell you what play that was. I'm not going to because I know Coach Pop doesn't want me to, but I could still run that play if he needed me. I mean, they run there's certain plays in this Vaca High playbook that is such bread and butter. These guys can run them in their sleep, literally. And the traps, they trap and pull so much that you're confused until you get to the point of contact. And then when someone finally hits you, you're confused after because you just got banged.
So Alberto Escobedo knocks through the PAT for the Bulldogs, and Vacaville now down by a touchdown. Indians on top with 10:54 still to go here in the first half. Indians leading the Bulldogs 14-7. We've got a pretty good game for you tonight, folks, here on the Solano College Sports Network.
And you know what? If you want to talk about momentum, I know some people are huge believers in momentum and some don't. But to me, momentum's huge, and that play right there is going to be a huge momentum shift for this Vaca High team. Everybody on that sideline just saw David do what he did, and they want to go out there and make a play now too.
And Napa, on the other hand, now they've got to really step up and see what kind of answer they have for Vacaville, see if they can stop this momentum shift. And really, if they can just keep the ball on the ground, get a few first downs, keep that clock moving, that's the game they want to play tonight.
Exactly, but as you saw there, it only takes one play for this Vacaville offense to bring it right back and make it a game again.
And the Napa defense had played pretty well against the run up to that big run by Mewborn. Another little squib kick, and one of the Indians over there to grab it. I think it might be Campton, but he doesn't get much. There's about 5 Bulldogs there before he has a chance to make a move.
You know, both returners, all four returners on both sides of this ball for Napa and Vacaville are dangerous guys. As we can see, the coaches have done their homework on him. They don't want to give him even a chance to get the ball in the end zone. And like you said, it's a good game plan for both these teams because as we saw, one play and it could be there. 6 points, boom.
And boy, the offensive line, Eggert, Pappas, Rufino the center, Kunihiro, and McCardle doing an excellent job thus far up front, the O-line for the Indians. So now Beaver directly behind center, one running back. You've got Campton in motion to the near side, and Beaver gives it to the first guy. That's probably Poteet. Tries to run it off tackle to the far side. Nothing doing.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. These O-linemen are the only reason that your run game gets going. Linemen never get love. I love to give it to them. I used to be one. These guys are the reason Napa has been able to put 14 on the board and have the run game be so successful for them. If you take a look at their line, their smallest guy is Quinn May, 6'5", 205. They got some big boys up there on that O-line.
Yeah, they got some beef up there. And, boy, pretty easy game plan to run behind it and see what happens so far, working out pretty well.
You know, where you have a line where some of these guys look like physically they could play in college, just keep running the ball.
Yeah. All right, Beaver back in the shotgun, takes a direct snap and hit right at the line of scrimmage. Number 40 there, Faulkner to make the stop.
Wyatt Faulkner, another one of those guys Coach Mott was talking about. He's going to be all over the place, and Coach Mott said he's one of those guys that it might give us some trouble tonight. Look for Wyatt to be all over the place. He's a great player, young kid, junior. He's got another year coming back next year, and I only expect him to get better and better.
Yeah, he's really quick on his feet, excellent quickness, and really has a nose for the football. So Beaver once again back in the shotgun. Looks like you have trips to the near side. And here's the snap, and Beaver's going to the air. He's throwing to his receiver, and just out of the outstretched arms of Devin Gorsuch, the wide receiver. And so once again, Beaver a little long on the throws.
A little bit long, and that would have been a touchdown pass potentially because Gorsuch had his cornerback beaten outright, was behind him, arms stretched out, a little bit less on that ball. He would have caught it in stride and been in the end zone for another Napa score.
And Beaver comes in 53%, 73 for 139 through the air, so pretty good accuracy. We just haven't seen it tonight. So the fourth down means the Indians will punt this one away. Vacaville holds after that thrilling touchdown, and it's fielded by 35, puts a move on, but hit by a couple Indians there and goes down back at the 25-yard line.
That was just an awkward return. He caught it, kind of shoestring a little bit, turned to his right, kind of awkward. I didn't think he really wanted to take that ball anywhere, but he saw a defender right in his face and had to go. So
few too many dance moves there for Reed Ramirez.
Maybe a fair catch next time is in order.
But Vacaville, all right, so they're actually going to spot the ball, it looks like, at about the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs. Still kind of waiting to see where the official's going to put the ball. And the officials in the middle of the field not quite sure what they're discussing. I don't see any flags on the play.
Well, we have one right down there right about the 45. I don't know what it could be on, though. I thought that the ref down here around the 30 was going to give them stoppage of forward momentum. But let's see after this little meeting in the middle what we have going on.
So Vacaville defense stepping up big, getting the stop that they needed to get the ball back. Still lots of time here in the first half, 9:10 to play.
And it looks like the call is going to be holding, and it looks like it's going to be against the Indians.
Well, if it is, that's really obviously going to improve the field position for Vacaville. It looked like the ball was going to be spotted right about the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs. But I don't know what is going on with all. Well, now they're talking it over with probably the captain for the Indians. Can't see the number.
And it may be on Vacaville because they were just meeting with Napa's captain, so they're probably asking him, do you want to accept or decline? So I could only imagine they would accept and move him back a couple yards, get him more around the 20 than the 30. While we have a second here, somebody that we have not called their name yet, DeMonte Moore tonight. he's really become a weapon for this Vaca High offense. I'm surprised we haven't seen him out there yet. And, you know, Pop said what's allowed him to really become such a key part to this offense is he's starting to come into his own as a varsity player. He's finally starting to get that varsity speed that he needs to play up here. And that now he's starting to get a little bit bigger in the weight room, not depending so much on running around people, but now also being able to run through them. So, you know, DeMonte's a young kid. He's still a junior. I'm excited to see what he does next year as a senior.
All right, well, things sorted out now. Vacaville, they'll start this drive right at their own 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 from Vacaville 20. Hecking going back to pass. He's got time. He's going to throw it over to the, short of Mewborn. He had him open over on the far side of the field, right about the 45-yard line, and I'm not sure what happened. Hecking looked like he had plenty of time, looked like he had his feet planted firmly, but that ball just came up short, a good 5 yards short, it seemed like.
I have to think that's a miscommunication between David Mewborn and Chad, just because it was probably supposed to be a turnaround. He kept going because that Vaca High line gave him enough time to make that throw.
Well, this time he gives it to number 6, trying to get to the far side, but he's met by
Quinn May.
You got it.
Number 19. And he's another one that's being very highly recruited by a lot of D1 schools, a lot of Pac-12 schools. And what's holding him up right now is a little bit of academic trouble. But if he can get his grades right, this kid could very easily play anywhere in the NCAA.
Boy, and that's just so crucial, and it's so hard for kids to realize that, 16, 17 years old.
Student athlete.
Yeah, that
Student
GPA,
athlete.
that's so key to moving on to the next level. Hecking going deep. He's going to put it up for Donaldson, and he makes a diving grab at the 45-yard line of the Indians. Oh, my, what a catch by the little gutty wide receiver for the Bulldogs.
You know, Tanner is the perfect example of the saying, it's not always about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog, because he is nowhere near a premier wide receiver size, but he comes out here and is consistently a huge offensive weapon for them. Great catch, little ball flip at the end with a little swaggy walk-off.
Well, there's going to be a penalty on that play. That was a run. Hecking gave it to one of his running backs. I think it was Demetrius Nunez, and picked up 4 or 5 yards, but there's a penalty on the play, and I think this is going to go against the Bulldogs.
It's going to be holding.
I think you're right, Mr. Taub.
And you know what? I would not be surprised at all if we see another pass right here. Tanner's confidence are sky high. Chad knows that he wants the ball again, and Chad knows he can get it to him. Watch out for them to try to score or go for a big play through the air right here. Perfect opportunity to go for it.
And that just looked like a post pattern, and Donaldson had 2 guys on him, the corner in man coverage, the safety coming over on top, and Donaldson just blew by them both. Hecking got it up to him.
Himself to the ball on that one.
He did. He said, this is my ball. I'm going to get it. Let's see if he gets another one. Hecking ready. He's going back to pass, and why not? Oh, and the wide receiver trips. And that was Donaldson again. I couldn't see who was in the coverage, but it looked like their feet just got tangled up there.
Great play by number 31 from Napa.
Don't you hate that when you look on the roster and he's not there?
My numbers are missed.
I've been looking at 31 all night.
My numbers
but never
are missing.
commit to the number.
Yeah, you're right. 31, if you listen to this, whoever you are, great play on that last one. I don't have your name on my roster.
He's been making plays, too, all night on D. All right, so now it's going to be 2nd and 20. Let's see if the Bulldogs continue to go to the air. Yep, Hecking going back. It's going to be a little screen, but doesn't fool the Bulldogs. Receiver drops it. Are they going to call that a catch and then a fumble? I never thought he had control.
I don't know.
That's a call, baby.
They're pointing to like it's Indians' ball.
Yeah, the receiver, and I couldn't see who it was. It was someone coming out of the backfield. But, boy, as soon as the ball hit their hands, they dropped it. But good wherewithal by one of the Indians to fall on the ball just in case, and it gets them a big turnover.
Yeah, I completely missed the running back catching it because I was watching Julio De Horo absolutely get after Chad Hecking in the backfield.
Yeah, they had the screen set up, too. They had the blockers. But Hecking threw it a little bit off his back foot, a little bit short. The receiver had to come back, got his fingers on it, fell off his fingers, and they call that a completed pass and a fumble. Napa's going to take it as they take over at the Vacaville 45-yard line. Beaver in the pistol, takes the snap, fakes to Poteet. He's going to throw it. He's got a receiver, and it's caught by May down inside the 10-yard line. Oh my, what a turn of events in this game.
And that's just Quinn May being more gifted athletically and physically than the guy that was trying to cover him. If you saw that, not bad coverage on the DB's part. Quinn May just able to reach up over him and make a great catch down around the 5. Huge for the Napa Indians right there. Don't be surprised to see him hit Quinn May on a little out route, little slant to the corner of the end zone right here.
All right, Beaver set up behind center. Gives it to the first guy through, and he's hit right. No, he breaks it to the near side. Oh, my goodness gracious. Manny Aguirre in. And it took 5 black shirts to get him on the ground. Picked up a couple that time.
You know, Luke Campton, 5'11", 200, thinks he's 6'3", 220 on that play.
Yeah, he's running hard.
Banging it up in there. Absolutely refusing to be brought down without picking up some yards.
So Kyle Beaver ran over to the sidelines, got the call directly from Coach Mott, and up to the line of scrimmage. Behind center, one runner, Campton in the backfield. He throws it over the middle, but not even close to hitting the intended receiver. But I think there may be a flag on the play. I saw a couple of the Indians clapping after that one.
If that's PI, I'm a little bit confused on how they're reading the PI rule. That was not 5 yards. There may have been a little bit of mutual contact between the wide receiver and the DB, if any, but that's okay. Let that go. Let these boys play football. That was a good play. It was within the 5-yard limit. Good play by the DB in my book.
And the intended receiver on that one was number 17, Austin Aaron. And so that penalty is going to give Napa now a first down and goal to go. Ball sitting right about the 2-yard line. So great opportunity for the Indians to go back on top by 2 touchdowns.
You know, and Jonathan Burke, who that penalty was called on, just needs to get that last play out of his head. Remember to have a short memory. Go back and do the exact same thing and keep them from getting that ball in the end zone.
All right, this time Beaver, he's going to line up in the pistol. Poteet behind him, gives it to the first guy through. That's probably Campton, and he fights into the end zone. Touchdown, Indians.
You know, that did look like Campton just on the style of his running. Puts his head down there and doesn't stop moving his feet until he gets where he wants to go.
And so that series again, and you really have seen Napa throughout the night. They've run the pistol. They've had Beaver up behind center and back in the shotgun. And I think that's really kind of keeping the defenders for Vacaville off balance tonight.
Definitely. All the different looks that they're getting right now is keeping them from getting, set into a tone with them. It's keeping them having to change constantly throughout the offensive drive.
So DeHaro knocks it through again, his 3rd PAT on the night. Kid 7 for 7 in PATs on the season. And Napa once again with a 2-touchdown lead up over the home Bulldogs. Kind of stunned tonight, down by 2 touchdowns, 21-7. Still a lot of football to be played, though.
You know what? A football game essentially comes down to who wants it more. And I know Vaca High comes into every game like it's the biggest game of the season because it's that game that week. But this Napa team has something to prove in this stadium. They want this bad. They did not come in here and expect to be beaten the way they were, and they were upset with the way it happened. They had times to close it out, and they're not going to allow little mistakes like that to come back and bite them in this game.
And Napa has lost 4 games in a row to Vacaville, and none of those games have really been close. If Vacaville wins another one, it will be the longest winning streak in the series coming into tonight, both teams with 20 wins. So the Indians will kick this one, another squib kick, and it's taken by 22. Burke, he's trying to get around to the far side. He gets around the edge, and he's finally driven out of bounds right about midfield.
There was a great block on that play that really sprung him for about 6-10 more yards in between there. Came back down, had a nice little crack on one guy, completely didn't see him coming. That's why they tell you keep your head on a swivel in football, my friends.
And John Burke showing some speed. The safety for Vacaville back and kick return. And boy, Vacaville, excellent field position as they take over near midfield. So Hecking behind center, 2 guys in the backfield. He's giving it to Mewborn to the near side of the field. Cuts inside, back to the middle of the field. He's still going. He's going to get to the 10, the 5, touchdown, Daniel Mewborn. He says, twin brother, I can get one too.
I was right about to say, Puff, that Vaca High is one play away from making this a game again, but I didn't want to cut you off in the play-by-play. So, like you said, Daniel showing his twin brother, hey, bro, you ain't the only one out here with wheels. I'm going to get one too. Great play by Daniel. One of those Mewborn twins, I'm telling you, they are a key to this team's offensive success. One play, and it's a game again. One-score game.
Boy, an excellent blocking by the offensive line to spring Mewborn that time. All right.
You know, he had a lead blocker right there.
Through.
He had a lead blocker right there on that last one. I didn't catch the number. Kid was running like a running back, but he really sprung him to get to that end zone, helped him get to the next level, make a move. Daniel to the house, 4-6. It's a wrap every time.
Excellent vision by Daniel Mewborn, too. As you saw him really weave behind his blockers. And as you said, David, he started out coming to the far side of the field, but able to weave his way back to the center of the field and ended up scoring on the far side of the field. Excellent job by Daniel Mewborn. And so now Indians 21, Mewborns 14. Just kidding. He doesn't make that run without those blockers.
Very true. Those guys up front are the workhorses that all success is driven from. So keep blocking up there, boys, and keep it a close game. We want to see a good one tonight.
Well, we've got one, and now Vacaville is going to kick it back to Napa. A one-touchdown lead for the Indians, and they've led the entire way. So Escobedo, just a little pooch kick, taken right about the 25-yard line. I think that's Mac Nelson trying to get to the outside of the field and gets it up to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. The Indians will take over there.
It may sound obvious to any listeners, but don't be surprised if they go straight back to this run game. They've had immense success on it. It is the only reason that they've been able to put 21 up in this first half and open up any success in the pass game has come straight through the run game. So watch them go straight back there.
Well, you've got 6:28 left in this one, and certainly Napa here, they'd like to keep it on the ground and just take some more time off the clock, keep the ball away from the Mewborn twins. All right, so Beaver now behind center, single running back, and he fakes the pitch, and boy, Vacaville not fooled. Number 10 up there, Luke Andrachek, the middle linebacker. What a tackle.
And Luke is one of those guys that's going to get a lot of playing time tonight at that linebacking spot. Daniel Agbigay is coming off an injury that's forced him to miss a couple games. Watch out for Andrachek to come up and really make a name for himself tonight at that linebacking spot.
And he's just a junior, but I think this one, there's a penalty. It's going to go against the Indians. It's going to be holding.
You know, we were talking about how Napa probably wants to get right back to that run, but if I'm Coach Mott, I'm thinking maybe I want to throw a screen somewhere in here just to get a little tricky. Fool these guys. They're always looking at run. Throw a screen at them. They'll think, oh, my gosh, it's a pass play. I finally get to rush. All of a sudden, they got a screen going for 60 yards and 6 points on them.
So Beaver going back. He's throwing it deep. He's got Mayo, and he drops it. Boy, he had his defender beat. Perfect pass by Beaver. That might be the best ball that he's thrown all night, and May cannot secure it for the catch. That might have been 6.
That was definitely 6 and definitely the best ball that Beavers has thrown all night. Quinn May needs to pull that rock in. You are a D1 athlete, son. Catch that ball. That's what they're looking for. Too good of an athlete to mess up that play. That definitely would have been to the house. No one would have caught him.
I think that was Jelon Stevens, number 1 on the coverage. And May, boy, he had a good couple steps on him. All right, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 20. Beaver in the pistol, and he's going to fake to Poteet. He's going to throw it up again. This time, no, he's going for May again. No, that was Aaron, and he dropped it.
John Burke coming through with a great play on the coverage to break it up. Just denying Austin that catch.
Boy, another good ball by Beaver. I think the receivers are a little surprised. They're such good passes, they're not making the catch. So 2 big opportunities missed by the Indians to pick up a first down. Now it's 3rd and 20.
I think Austin was surprised by John Burke on that play. 22 staying right with him to the end and making a great play to break up the pass.
So Burke having an impact, had a nice kickoff return earlier and doing it on the defensive end. He's done that all season. Poteet now back in the shotgun, trips to the near side. He's dropping back to pass, pressure by the Bulldogs. He rolls to the right side, and he's got a receiver wide open. It's Quinn May. Two Vacaville Bulldogs, Connor Canellis. Good recovery there, able to drag down the big receiver, but not before he picks up a huge first down. Napa now in Bulldog territory. They cross midfield, ball at the Vacaville Bulldog 47-yard line.
There was just no way Connor was going to watch Quinn May take another one to the house. And if you didn't see in the backfield back there, Chris Irving, number 21, almost coming up huge for this Vaca High defense, forcing Beavers to roll out and hitting him just a second after he let the ball go.
Nice throw by Beaver on the run.
Very good throw by Beavers. Watch out for Chris to want to finish that sack, though, at some point tonight.
And so good pressure by Vacaville, but they're not able to get there in time. And as a result, huge first down. Additionally, a penalty against Vacaville, personal foul. So that's going to move the ball deeper into Bulldog territory. Ball wrestling, or sitting right at about the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs.
And we see Napa having a lot more success in the pass game on this drive so far. Really, the first time that they've really went strongly to that pass game all night. And now, because they've established that they can run the ball on this, all these pass opportunities are starting to open up and falling into their laps, and things are starting to just fall into place for this Napa Indians offense, and they're taking advantage of it.
And on that last play, Derek Poteet was lined up in the Wildcat formation. I think Coach Pop saw that, immediately called a timeout. Didn't want to see Poteet run through his defense again like he did to get the Indians on the board earlier in the first quarter.
Definitely not. You know, I haven't seen this Napa High team before tonight. Derek Poteet surprising me with his speed. I did not expect him to be as fast as he is. Really, when he gets the ball in his hands, is showing me that he is just a speed demon out there.
So impressive showing by the Indians thus far, especially coming off that heartbreaking loss here on the same field last week to Will C. Wood.
And, you know, talking about that tough loss, Coach Mott was talking about that they really have something to prove because of that one, that what happened and how they played towards the end is not them, and they want to show this crowd and this team and this Bulldog team who they are.
All right, 1st and 10, and Bulldog Indians ready, and that's going to be a touchdown. That's going to be Austin Aaron. And I think he might have been lined up in the shotgun, David.
That was Derek Poteet right there, number 13, taking it in. And I believe that's his second score on the night.
You're absolutely right. It is 13. I sure thought that was 17 as he came around. So good save there. Thank you, partner. So Poteet, Pop saw him lined up in the Wildcat, called the timeout. Indians go with the same play.
Yep.
They got 6, up by 2 touchdowns again.
Exactly. And, you know, Mott is confident in his guys. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do and try to stop it. That's kind of been the story of them all night, though, tonight with the run game, coming out, saying, we're going to run this ball. We're going to take it right up the middle. You try to stop us. And when you do, then maybe we'll think about changing it up.
So off the Vacaville timeout, doesn't matter. Indians put another touchdown on the board. They've got 4 against this Vacaville defensive squad tonight in the first half. Impressive offensive showing. What do you think's been the real key to their offense tonight?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious the run game has opened up everything for them. The run game got them their first 2 touchdowns and really has allowed them to get the last 2 in. The one to Quinn May over there in the end zone, and Derek Poteet just taking in the last one. It all comes from that run game, and that was what Coach Mott was telling me today. They need to establish that run game. That's what they want to get back to, find that identity as a run-hard team. And that's what they're doing tonight. They are proving it to the rest of the MEL right now that they can run the ball.
Yeah, I've also been very impressed with the blocking schemes by the Indians and the fact that they're just changing the formations continually. I think that's kind of created some problems for Vacaville on defense, and the blocking has been stellar.
Definitely.
Especially the big offensive tackles, Miles McCardle and Braden Eggert doing a great job on that O-line. All right. DeHaro finally kicks it deep all the way to the back of the end zone. Ain't going to be a return there by a Bulldog, number 33 back. That would be Tyrese Talfor.
I think he was tired of kicking all those squibs and wanted to show us he had a little bit of power behind his leg. So, you know, Brandon, going up to Washington, or I'm sorry, Braden going up to Washington State next year, has a huge game tonight on that O-line, and we're not even through the first half. So watch out for him to keep showing up and making devastating blocks all night long.
And then you look at those two offensive tackles. They're the bookends on the D-line as well. You got Braden Eggert and Miles McCardle, the two defensive ends, and that defensive front playing pretty good tonight against a very good O-line for the Vacaville Bulldogs. So Vacaville, they've got 5:44 left in the first half here. They desperately would like to get it back to just a touchdown deficit, but they're going to have to do something offensively here. Only 2 scores on the night, one by each of the Mewborn brothers. David got the first one, and his twin brother Daniel got the second.
You know, the last 2 times they were in this situation, it was one play that got him right back in it. So don't be surprised if there's just one big breaker that gets them right back in this game.
Boy, I tell you can't look away for a second or there's going to be a penalty even when there's not a play going on. So Vacaville better field position now because of the penalty against the Indians. So they're right up close to the 35-yard line. Boy, you had a shot at big number 76, Braden Eggert. We've been talking about him tonight, the 6'7", 357-pounder.
And if you notice, he's lined up right across from lineman of the year last year, Jeremy Sweeney, big number 91. That's going to be a matchup to watch the rest of this game. I didn't realize that they were having a little personal party down there between them.
Yeah, we'll have to really keep an eye on that one, especially once we get to the second half. There you see Coach Mott having a discussion with the official. I think he's trying to figure out what that penalty was. I never saw a flag. I never saw any indication by an official. I just saw the official walking towards midfield, moving Vacaville closer to the midfield line.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you what that penalty was on either. I have no idea. I didn't even see a player out there to be penalized, so maybe it was a mistake on a sideline, someone out of place, or not where they should be.
Yeah, it could have been a comment, maybe by the bench. Who
Actually,
knows?
It was unsportsmanlike conduct. Just found out. Not sure on who, but, you know, the best thing to do out there sometimes is shut your mouth and do your talking with your hat.
Absolutely. So Vacaville will have it 1st and 10. 5:44 left in the first half. And one of the officials over there talking to Coach Pop. Looks like we got everything straightened out. Vacaville's thinking, cool, we've got some good field position here. Let's see what they do with it. Hecking this time gives it to number 6 around the far end. He's got a little running room, gets past the first down marker and makes it all the way across midfield.
Fast kid, got a good block up front and a nice seal at the end, was able to turn it up for a big gain of about 20. Picks up another 1st and 10. DeMonte Moore, first time we've heard his name called. I mentioned him earlier, junior. Weapon for this Vaca High offense, though. He's got the athletic ability to make a big play anytime he touches the ball.
Well, the average is almost 8 yards a carry. He comes in with almost 300 yards rushing on the season. So another one of those talented backs in the stable of running backs for Vacaville. And that always seems to be the norm here. They always seem like they've got 5, 6, 8, 10 kids that can
completely capable of running the ball. If you look at this, actually, their stable of running backs that you're talking about, there's about 4 or 5 guys out there that average above 7 yards a rush each carry.
I think last week in that game against Armio, they had 15 different players carry the ball. There you see another timeout break in the action. And I think nobody had more than 3 carries.
You know, in that Armio game also that we're talking about, they had 550 total yards of offense and averaged 13 yards a play. So when you're picking up a first down every time you run a play, you're going to be successful inevitably, and they were, defeating Armio pretty decisively in that game a couple weeks ago.
Poor Armio. And, of course, you might be watching this on the Fairfield Cable Access Network. We wish we could show some Armio games, but come on. We got to get a little better. But they're always out there fighting hard. And aren't they the Indians as well?
They are the Indians as well. And the thing with Fairfield teams, at least when I was in high school, was they always had great athletes, great physical and athletic ability, but lacked a little bit in the discipline department. And that's just comes through coaching and getting to know your coaching staff. So once they get that down, they could be very successful as well in this league.
Well, you look at Fairfield. 3 years ago, Tremaine Bondurant, still the best high school player I've ever seen, and he was there for 3 years. In Fairfield, actually winning games. He was there throwing to Angelo Perry. You had the chance to play with Angelo.
I played with Dion also.
Bondurant.
You said Bondurant, correct?
I was talking about Tremaine, his little brother.
His little brother.
He's doing well at Arizona as a safety now.
Yeah,
Junior
he is.
Safety,
He's been doing pretty well for the last couple of years out there.
Yeah, he started even at times towards the end of his freshman year. All right, timeout over. Hecking behind center. Gives it to Mewborn around the end, and he's got some room, folks. He's going to take it to the house. That's number 2 for David Mewborn.
David Mewborn. This has been the Mewborn Show all night tonight. Now collectively responsible for 28 points and almost all their yardage except for through the air. These boys are some athletes. I heard Pop talking to them earlier this week at practice about Sac State taking a couple looks at them. And if they keep playing like that, Sac State won't be the only one taking a look at them.
Well, he's up over 800 yards now rushing on the season. I mean, the kid has been phenomenal. He's got 2 touchdowns tonight. That's 15 TDs on the season. So Escobedo comes in and knocks this one through the uprights.
And you said that's 15 touchdowns for David Mewborn on the season. That's out of Vaca High's 37 total. This kid is an offensive machine. Give the ball to him, and he'll produce points.
And then you look at Daniel, his twin brother. He's got 4 TDs. So and we've seen it tonight. It's been all the Mewborns, right?
Exactly. And you know what? Daniel has a little bit more impact, I think, on defense. His brother has a little bit more on offense, but both of them combined are an unstoppable force.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where they end up playing next year, both seniors. And I think they certainly have the skills to play at the next level.
Definitely, definitely.
All right, so 5:29. Didn't take Vacaville long. They started that drive 5:44. Already got a touchdown, cut it back to a touchdown deficit. And let's see if they do another little squib kick here or if they kick it deep. Mitch Spinelli again back for the Indians. And this one's going to go hit right about the 10. One of the Indians picks it up. I think that's Aaron. And he gets it right to about the 25-yard line.
And you know what? On that last drive, every single scoring play that has happened, just like the last drive, has come from one big play that has broken wide open for this Bulldog squad. Every single one. 21 of their 21 points have come off huge plays. None of them have really been huge sustained drives, which I would much rather see. I want to see them get the ball, control it, run the clock, get a nice 10, 12, 15-play drive going so that they can wear this Napa defense down a little bit.
Beaver in the pistol, gives it to Campton, and he's going to fight ahead for a couple yards, and he's still going. Finally taken down. Looks like about the 27-yard line. Picks up a few there. Probably bring up 2nd and 8. Jeremy Sweeney in there, making the tackle, and kind of looks like Sweeney's playing a D-in spot.
He is at that D-end spot tonight. I think they may bump him around from time to time. He is capable of pretty much playing anywhere.
It looks like Stevie Gomez might be in there at nose tackle. All right, Beaver in the pistol again and gives it to Campton. This time he's got some room, and he's going to fight ahead for a first down. Another hard run by the fullback.
Wyatt Faulkner and Jeremy Sweeney on the tackle.
And the nose tackle, number 63 for the Bulldogs, that's Jeremiah Lamau. You like that, huh? That's always tough. You look down at the roster, you got one of those names.
You got a Polynesian or a Samoan name on there, and it's got like 15 syllables and
you say
18
every
apostrophes.
vowel. That's what I know about Polynesian names. That's a run by the Indians. Tough running again. That's going to pick up a couple yards. And let's see who that is.
Sweeney and Irving on the stop.
And looking at Chris Irving, number 21 from up here, you wouldn't expect him to be playing D-end. You would expect to see him more at like an outside linebacker, even a safety or a bigger cornerback position. But the kid can get after it and bang in those trenches with the best of them.
That was Mac Nielsen on the run. So Beaver once again in the pistol. Probably Poteet behind him and fakes it to Poteet. He's going to throw. He's got Aaron again, and he makes a catch, or that might have been Quinn May. I get these kids. That was Quinn May, number 19. You look at that jersey, hard to see if it's 19 or 17, both the same size, but Quinn May, another big catch.
And, you know, just getting enough room between him and number 2, Drew Chitwood. Drew had a pretty good beat on him, and he was just able to get barely enough room past him to make that catch. But good tackle by Drew to save a touchdown.
Well, May's such a big target at 6'5", and Beaver has really settled down throwing the rock. Very, very accurate here in the second quarter.
And that size difference is really going to be the biggest thing and the hardest thing for this Vacaville defense to overcome.
This time Capman takes it. He busts through the line. He's going to take it to the house. Boy, what a seesaw game tonight. And you said it, David. It's big play after big play. Napa once again gets their lead to 2 touchdowns.
I'm not sure how Campton got through that group of Bulldogs. No one able to bring him down after he runs through a group of about 7 Black Hats. If it's one thing you should know about this guy after he ran over somebody in the first quarter and continues to run strong, is you cannot bring him down with arm tackles. Wrap him up, get low, take out his legs, but get him on the ground.
So DeHario in for the extra point. Once again, he's been perfect on the season. Bad snap. Good job by the holder. Gets it down, and the kick is up and good. That was Jack Good on the hold. Nice job there.
Luke Campton, man, he has been here. He's been all night tonight, showing up all over the place, making big plays, and also making those short grinding plays. This kid is a workhorse. They can really put the team on his back when they have to and let him do what he does.
Well, with Beaver throwing the ball a little bit more in the second quarter, what a balanced attack by the Indians.
Definitely.
And then you look at that run by Campman, but really the play before was that long pass to Quinn. And so what happens, you're really keeping Vacaville. I think, and we were even talking about watch for the pass again, and bam, Campman up the middle. Another touchdown.
Exactly, and you know that Napa balance that you just talked about is a huge factor. Mike Papadopoulos, when I was talking to him, said it always makes it more difficult to prepare for a balanced team like this, and they only have 150 more yards through the air than they do on the ground on the season, and that balance, I think, is really helping them out against usually a very stout Vaca High defense.
I don't know why DeHario was kicking those squib kicks earlier. All he's got to do is kick it out of the end zone. Second time he's done that. No chance for a return by Vacaville. So Vacaville will take over on their own 20-yard line. They're looking for another big play. Kind of this game has gone from a 2-touchdown lead back to a touchdown lead. Vacaville just quite not able to catch the Indians, but they'd certainly like to get it to only a 7-point deficit
Definitely.
as they head into halftime.
All it takes, as they've shown the last 3 times, only one big play. This could be it right here.
So Hecking that time gave it to the wingback, and boy, that's going to be another big play. That's going to be Mewborn, number 9, takes it to the house. Oh my!
So David Mewborn, 3 touchdowns tonight, another 80-yard run. How many yards is he going to pick up this game? Is he just planning on finishing with like 1,200 all-purpose at the end of the game?
And I'll tell you what's really setting up those runs is the outstanding ball fakes by Chad Hecking. He's doing a masterful job of moving the defense to one side, and on that little trap play, once again, Mewborn able to take it all the way around the edge up the sideline, and that's what gives him that extra step. He throws in that burst and takes it to the house.
Well, this wing T really depends on misdirection and movement of offensive linemen, pulling them, you know, filling gaps, trapping defensive players. That wing T uses all of those things so much that it's hard to see who's really getting the ball after 1, 2, 3 fakes in the backfield. And then once you finally find the guy that does, he's getting a great seal block in the end and turning it up for an 80-yard touchdown run.
We're really getting an opportunity to see some great athletes perform tonight on both sides of the ball. Folks, if you like scoring, we know you're enjoying this broadcast right now. Napa up over Vacaville by a touchdown, 35-28, 3 minutes left. We're probably going to see another couple touchdowns here before
Don't be surprised.
Before we get to the half.
And the speed is amazing tonight. The speed that is on both sides of the field is amazing. And it's crazy. It's been just one big play after another for this Vaca High offense, and they're not going anywhere, staying right in this game. And if you were to ask me what the score at the end of the game was, I don't think I would have given you 28-35. That would have been too high, and it's not even the end of the first half. These two teams usually low-scoring, run teams, physical defense, and usually a defensive game. But tonight, it's been all offense on both sides for both teams.
Well, pretty good return there by one of the Indians. Takes a squib kick by Escobedo. That's number 44 on the run. And brings it to about the 31-yard line, right on the 30. So Mitch Spinelli on the return, and Spinelli's been one of their best return guys. Hasn't had much of an opportunity tonight on the short kicks by Escobedo. Came up and got one, got a nice return there. Indians take over on their own 30. 3 minutes left before half. Campman's going to take this one up the gut. Boy, that kid just keeps running. He's still going, carrying black jerseys with him all the way through the 35-yard line.
And you can see that Beavers is putting that ball in Campman's gut, seeing what's there, and pulling it out if the run's not there. That's why these big throws over the top, those couple that we thought were a fake to the outside, have come off that read option of him being able to put it in the gut and pull it when there's nothing there. And he's doing a great job of reading what this defense is giving him.
Excellent play by both quarterbacks tonight, especially with their overall ball skills. All right, so Beaver now in the pistol. He fakes to Cammon. He's going to go for his receiver. He's got him. He breaks a tackle, and he stays in bounds down the sideline. Number 17, Austin Aaron. Touchdown. Napa goes up again.
And
we'll see with the PAT, but up by 2 touchdowns.
I was right about to say, I'm sure Austin Aaron wants to join the touchdown club for tonight. Right there. Great route. Just beat his cover man, his cornerback. Able to just reach out and catch a dime of a pass right on the money. Takes it for 6. Able to stay in bounds. Great athletic play. Watch out for this kid to show up a lot more in the second half.
Well, the only problem is they may have scored too soon. Still 2 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for Vacaville. But, oh, my, we're seeing the big-time athletes make impressive plays tonight on the touchdown by Austin Aaron. DeHario, another PAT. Kid's probably getting tired. 42 points on the board. Napa Indians again up by 2 touchdowns over the Bulldogs.
And as you were saying, it may work out that the Indians have left too much time on the clock here in this first half to allow Vacaville to score again. Because 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I'm pretty sure they haven't even reached an equivalent of 2 minutes and 10 seconds from their scoring plays. I mean, yes, time of possession is past 2 minutes, but they've gotten 28 points in maybe a collective minute and a half of actual playing time. I mean, that is plenty of time for this quick-to-score Vacaville offense tonight to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, we could still see another 2 scores. Who knows?
Very possible. We could go into the half 49-35 right now.
All right, DeHario once again. Let's see if he boots this one out the back of the end zone. Puts his leg into it. It's another big boomer. And it's going to be a touchback. I couldn't quite tell what number 33 was doing there, David. That's Tyrese Talford. It looked like he kind of caught it. He was kind of trotting out, but then when he got past the goal line, official said touchback.
I believe the rule in high school, and I could be wrong, is that if you catch the ball in the end zone, you cannot bring it out. And I could be wrong. I'm not sure if that's true.
Well, that makes sense to me.
Don't quote me, folks. I could be mistaken.
All right, so Chad Hecking, he's going to try to answer back here up behind center. This time he fakes it, gives it to Mewborn again. Same trap play over to the far side of the field, but that time the Indians are ready. Looked like Quinn May over there making a tackle.
It was number 19, Big Quinn May, shutting that play down. They don't want to get burned on another exact same play that they got burned 2 times on already tonight. They're tired of seeing David Mewborn take that ball to their right and take it up the field for 6.
All right. Vacaville up quickly. This time Hecking, he's going to give it to Mewborn again, and he's stopped again.
Back to the same exact play, but they also, this is a chess match. This isn't checkers. They could be lulling them into a big Tanner Donaldson pass over the middle like we saw in the first quarter.
So 2 big stops by the Indians. They get another stop. They're going to get the ball back. Clock
Watch out
winding
for number 15.
Down, close to a minute. Mewborn in motion. Hecking fakes. He's looking. He's going to go to Sweeney. No, he's got Mewborn, and nobody's going to catch him. There goes number 7, Daniel Mewborn on the board, his second touchdown tonight.
All right, so he's only got one more to even things up with his brother. And the Mewborns are just all of Vaca High's offense tonight. You know, as we said, they won't be able to do what they do without the offensive line, but these guys sure are electrifying, exciting players to watch. No reason why they shouldn't play at the next level after this, and they are proving it tonight. Any recruits out there, scouts, watch out for number 7 and number 9.
And we got time for maybe one more. Still a minute remaining.
Very easily.
And one of the more exciting halves of football I've seen.
This is one of the most exciting Vaca High games I've seen. They don't usually go this way. 42-34 at halftime.
No way.
With maybe even another chance for another score to get tacked on there. Never in Vacaville.
So offensive explosion here in the first half. Vacaville once again cuts the deficit to just 7. Napa still ahead, 42-35, but there's a minute left. Let's see if Napa can get it back to a 2-touchdown lead. They've got time, especially the way they've been scoring.
And you know what? I don't think the Bulldogs have had a drive of over 8 plays. Every single scoring play has been on big plays, and I keep saying it, I sound like a broken record, but it's just the facts. Every single touchdown is on a huge play for them. I don't think they've even been in the red zone yet.
I think you're right, David. All right. Well, we're getting close to halftime, folks, but boy, you look at the length of this game, almost 9 o'clock, so just under an hour and a half.
And you know what? This game is really reminding me of the Armio game they had. Every single scoring play they had against Armio was of an average of 50 yards out or more. So this one tonight has been probably about an average of 60 yards out or more.
Little pooch kick there, and Indians didn't see the fumble, heard it in the stands. So short return on a short kick. Napa's going to take over. They're going to be, looks like right about the 26-yard line is where the official's going to set the ball down. And so still lots of time for Napa the way they've been scoring tonight.
Yeah, the way this game has been going for both teams, 56 seconds might be enough for 1, maybe even 2 scores. Who knows?
I think those safeties for Vacaville, though, want to just keep everyone in front. Don't let Mr. May get behind you again.
Which is why I'm wondering why John Burke and number 3 over there, Michael Walker, were so close to the line, because I could only imagine that Napa wants to try to get another score on the board before the end of this. And I would, if I was the defensive coordinator over there, put both those guys back deep. Keep everything in front of you. Bend, don't break. As long as you get out of this first half without allowing them to get back in the end zone, you're doing all right.
And as Napa set up to run the play, you saw the safeties, Burke and Mewborn, actually looked like they were kind of collapsing towards the line of scrimmage.
That's what I'm saying.
You're going the wrong way.
Exactly. I would not expect to see those guys up there around the line of scrimmage at in this situation.
Could have been they were just moving up to get the defensive call, something like that. But definitely you want to keep 19 and 17 in front of you, especially this close to the end of the first half.
You know, and knowing Mike Cassis over there, he might have wanted to give them something they weren't expecting, maybe drop a couple guys back that they weren't expecting to drop and bring those safeties up on a safety blitz or something, just something that Napa hasn't seen yet tonight.
And they really haven't been able to put a lot of pressure on Kyle Beaver.
No, they haven't. The only one that's gotten closest was Chris Irving on that rollout to Kyle Beaver's right, where Kyle completed that big pass.
Well,
speaking of Chris Irving, just finished it right there.
What do you know?
Came to finish that sack he left on the table in the first quarter.
Boy, good job by Irving there. He put a move on Miles McFardle, the tackle, and really showed off his quickness there to get to the quarterback.
And you know what? Every once in a while, being not a huge defensive lineman, I was never that big myself, but speed kills. You got some big boy in front of you as an offensive tackle that's over 300. There's no way he's going to move as well as a guy like Chris Irving. And Chris can really utilize that speed with some hand moves and some creative play to get around him and really make an impact.
All right, so 2nd and 17. Beaver's going to give it to Catman there. And Take it up the gut, maybe for a yard or two, so Napa content to run the clock out. They're going to take their touchdown lead into halftime, and they're going to be pretty happy about it, folks. Well, that'll do it for us here for the first half, that is. What a dandy of a game, an offensive explosion at the end of one half of play here at Tom Zunino Stadium. Vacaville down by a touchdown to Napa, 42-35. We'll see you for the start of the second half. Hi, everybody. Greg Poff here in the Solano College Sports Network studio, where we here at SCSN believe that life is more than just sports. Today, I'd like to tell you about a Solano College student by the name of Haley Green. And just before the start of this semester, Haley lost her mom both tragically and unexpectedly. And also, dealing with the sorrow of her mom's loss, which is hard enough for anyone to bear, she also was responsible for dealing with all of the costs associated with the funeral for her mom. As a result, Haley had to use her grant money that she had just received to help pay for her college education and use that money towards all of the funeral costs. Earlier today, I had a chance to speak with Haley. With the help of the Solano College Educational Foundation, a fund has been created on behalf of Haley. If you'd like to support this fund, you can do so and make donations to the SCC Educational Foundation. And if you make a check, earmark it to the Haley Green Support Fund. You can mail donations to the SCC Educational Foundation at 4000 Sassoon Valley Road, Fairfield, California, 94534. With our help, we can help provide Haley with all of the support she needs to achieve her future academic, career, and personal goals. This is a great opportunity to dig deep and help a fellow member of our college community who is in need. This is Greg Poff from the Solano College Sports Network studio, reminding all of us it's more than just about sports. All right, we're just about ready to get the second half underway. A dandy of a game tonight here at Tom Zanino Stadium. Napa up by a touchdown over Vacaville, 42-35. We're bringing all the action here on the Solano College Sports Network. I'm along with my broadcast partner, David Taub, and we're bringing Chelsea Williams in. Chelsea, you were on the field for the first half. Tell us a little bit about what went on over at the Vacaville sideline.
Well, the Vacaville sideline had its ups and downs. When DeAndre Lewis got his injury in the first quarter, he just had an ice step quick, so he might be questionable. And then going into the half, the coach was more into consistency on the defensive end because the offense knows how to push it.
Well, there you see the kickoff to get things started. Vacaville receiving, and quite a return by one of the Bulldogs there, getting the ball already up to midfield. David, what are your thoughts on the first half? Pretty entertaining game, eh, partner?
The first half was unlike any Vacaville first half I have seen or been a part of in the 4 years that I played here. I don't think we ever had a game 42-35 at halftime. That's amazing. That is an amazing amount of scoring for this team.
Well, let's see if they can keep the offensive fireworks going as Hecking lines up under center. Fakes it, gives it to Mewborn, that trap play, but they tried to bring it right up the middle. Excellent play there by one of the defenders. Looked like number 43, Chad Forster, the linebacker, coming into the line of scrimmage to make the stop.
And, you know, Vacaville is going to go right back to that run game. They've been pretty successful with it, with 5 touchdowns coming on the ground.
That time the give was, it looks like, boy, he faked to Canellis.
David Mewborn almost picking
came
up
around.
the first
Boy,
down.
excellent ball fake. Boy, I've been fooled all night. Thought that was up the gut to Connor Canellis. Nice run again by Mewborn.
You know, and it's been David to the outside the majority tonight. What do you think? I want to hear from your perspective down there on the sideline.
All right, hang on. Here we go. Next play. Give it to Daniel Mewborn. Tries to get to the far side of the field. Can't get around the edge. Chelsea, what are your thoughts?
I kind of got tired trying to record all the Mewborn whether they're just hitting the side because they knew how to penetrate, like find the opening within the defense. They're really trying to block the middle, but, hey, they knew how to find the sides, and they just went straight on through. Kind of crazy to see it.
It has been the Mewborn show all night tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised if Napa figures out that if there's only one of them in there at one time, put a key on him, put a spy on him so that he doesn't get out in space by himself.
Big 3rd down and 1 coming up for Vacaville. They're in Indian territory right at the 42-yard line. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Hecking ready. Takes a snap, gives it to Canellis. No, gives it to Mewborn again. Daniel, and he breaks it to the middle of the field, picks up the first down.
That was a beautiful fake, I would say.
And you know what? It looked like Daniel Mewborn was one cut away from breaking another big one and tying his brother with 3 touchdowns on the night.
And both brothers very elusive running that trap play. They line up in the wingback position. Hecking, excellent job faking to the guy up the gut, gives it to one of the Mewborn brothers. That time gives it to David. Tries the same play, tries to break it wide. And good pursuit there by the Indians. Nice tackle by Mitch Spinelli, the safety, coming up to make the initial contact.
You know, also, I wouldn't be, it's not going to, I don't think Napa's going to be surprised by the Mewborn brothers this half. They're going to be trying to shut them down because all night, Vacaville's offense has been the Mewborn. So shut them down, you might have a chance of slowing this offense down.
And they've done it at times. They just can't do it every play. All right, Hecking set. D-line shifting for the Indians. This time it's up the gut. And boy, what a hit by one of the Indians driving the ball carrier, number 24. That was Kane Cunningham getting in, getting a taste of the rock, and he got knocked back a couple yards.
And you know what? I think that was number 10, Luke
Campton, baby.
Luke Campton over there for Napa. I'm sorry, showing that he's not just can cause an impact on offense, but he can have an impact on defense too.
All right, Hecking said, fakes it to the first guy, gives it to Mewborn, cuts off tackle, picks up a few.
Nice gain for Vacaville right there. Even though Napa kind of looks tired, they know how to pursue. But, hey, Vacaville is kind of responding back with those nice run plays. They're not stopping right there.
And speaking about fatigue, if you notice, this Vacaville offense is getting right up to the line of scrimmage because they're now starting to try to pace this Napa Indian defense.
All right, Hecking up to the line of scrimmage. He's been behind center all night. Mewborn in motion. Fakes to the running back. He's going to throw it. He's got a receiver, first down.
And you know what? That does not surprise me at all. A couple good successful run plays. Go to your security blanket and Tanner Donaldson. Pick up a first down.
A tight end is a friend for a quarterback indeed.
And don't be surprised if they do the same thing, trying to lull him with the run, hit him big with the pass.
All right, Hecking set. Fakes it to two running backs. A trap play again. Mewborn's going to bust it over to the far side of the field before he's knocked towards the sideline by a host of Indian tacklers.
David's just willing himself to pick up some positive yards on that when he was met almost immediately at the line of scrimmage, but refuses to go down without picking anything up.
Mewborn getting a lot of carries tonight, especially after last week's win over Armio. Only one carry on the night. A little busier tonight. Fake to Mewborn. Hecking rolls to the near side. Looking. He's going to tuck it under his arm, and he's going to get up towards the first down marker. It's going to be close.
Picked up about 5 on there. Looks like it might be a helmet-to-helmet call on Napa. Might make this a first down.
Hecking, I think, was looking for Sweeney in the end zone. Didn't feel like he had him open, so tucked it down. You're absolutely right, David. Helmet-to-helmet contact, so that's going to be an automatic first down, even though I think Vacaville was close to picking up the first down anyway.
Good job for Hecking, though, to find that he couldn't find anybody open and pursue it himself. A lot of quarterbacks in the high school can't really see if they have nothing to throw to. They kind of stay in the pocket. But, hey, he found some room. He got his legs moving. Hey, first down.
Yeah, nice poise by the junior quarterback. Hecking this time he's going to give it to 30. 30 still going up towards the goal line. It's going to be close. Demetrius Nunez on the carry.
Demetrius has had his number called a little bit more often tonight than he did in the last couple games, showing that he's making a case for himself why he should have the rock in his hands.
Yeah, Nunez really knows how to move those legs.
And I would not be surprised to watch a fake up the middle, maybe hit a little dumper off into the corner, or even just one of those sweeps with the Mewborn.
Mewborn in motion, and Hecking, no, he gives it to him around the sideline, in for a touchdown, and Vacaville finally 1 point away from knotting this thing up at 42.
And just for the record, that is the 4th touchdown for David Mewborn on the night.
That's way too many that I could count. I'm happy I'm not on the sideline getting that one. It was just way too crazy to try to keep up with all of them.
So after tonight, David is going to finish with at least 14 touchdowns on the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's another, he was at 970 all-purpose coming into this one. I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't at 1,100. And with the PAT, everything's tied up. 42-42. Neither team refusing to give or quit. And it is going to be this way right down to the wire. Both these teams, hard-nosed, never give up, are the type of team that really don't stop playing until the fat lady sings.
It was a good comeback for the Bulldogs to come back right in the half, and those whole plays, that whole drive was just showing them that they could come back within this little time and stuff like that.
And it's so important right there to score on your first possession, to come out of halftime, and solidify, oh, yeah, we can have success against this defense. We can put the ball in there, and it really puts momentum on their side going into the beginning of this third quarter.
Only thing I'm hoping for is now that they got the tied-up score, can their defense answer back? Because
that's really the one thing Pop was saying, was that this defense needs to step up at halftime. This defense needs to make a couple stops, give the offense a chance to go up here.
So Escobedo ready. He's going to kick this one off. He's just been kicking those little pooch kits. Does it again. One of the Indians settles under right about the 25, trying to get to the near side of the field, cups it up the middle, and gets just past his own 30-yard line. So Vacaville, they score on their first possession in the first half. Now Napa takes a ball, their first possession in the second half. Game all tied up at 42 apiece.
I think every offensive player on this Napa offense has a touchdown besides Luke, who still has had a huge impact on this offense, and Devon over there at number 15. So let's see if they don't get involved here with a couple scores.
Beaver gives it to, no, he hangs on to it. Fake to Campton, cuts to the near side, gets around a block by Aaron, and nice job by Burke, the safety, to knock him out of bounds, but not before. Big gain by the quarterback, Beaver.
Burke did a good job. I saw him trying to, like the defensive for Napa, trying to push him off and try to get him all confused so he wouldn't get after the quarterback. But Buke, yeah, he kind of kept his distance so he can pursue the quarterback. It was a good play for him to make that stop that big drive.
And they really fooled that Vaca High defense by faking that dive up the middle. Really allowed that play to open up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Beaver in the pistol, fakes to Campman, gives it to 21 off tackle, but nothing doing there. Boy,
Number
nice.
44, Connor Canales, coming and making the tackle for a loss.
That was a good answer back for that big drive.
92, Evan Holiday comes in. He's in on the tackle as well. Now he trots off the field. Beaver over to the sidelines quickly, gets a message from head coach Troy Mott. Trots back in, and he'll line up in the pistol. Campman next to him. And he fakes to Campman, gives it to the tailback, and fights ahead close to the first down marker right about the 30-yard line. That was Derek Poteet on the carry.
Poteet picking up just about 6 or 7 yards there. But you notice about Poteet is he's so small that this Napa offensive line only needs to open up a crack of daylight for him to get through. You really don't need to open up, that huge of a gap. This kid can just wiggle his way through right under your legs.
Yeah, the little ones are always the dangerous ones. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that again.
So DeHario now, the safety, in as one of the running backs, standing next to Beaver. Beaver in the pistol, 21 in motion. Fakes it to 21, Beaver to the near side, but none of the Vacaville Bulldogs fooled. Excellent play there by number 3. Also looked like 32, 22, Burke in on the stop as well.
Number 3, Michael Walker, eating on that play.
Both sides of the defensive line kind of answered back. It was really good to see that one. Big 4th down and 3. Can the defense really stop this drive?
All right, here
this is one of
come
those
the
plays
Indians.
where some momentum can switch.
Quarterback under center. It's Poteet. Takes a direct snap. Nice fake. Tries to cut upfield.
He's going to be
close to the first down. He's still going before a couple Bulldogs drag him to the dirt.
Bulldogs saying they stopped him.
Boy, that time Poteet came up and lined up directly behind center, took the snap, and just tried to get around the edge
And
right
it looks
off
like
the block of
Poteet
the
is
tackle.
down.
Oh, wow.
It looks like Poteet is down and holding his knee and his head. I'm not sure which is the injury.
I think when he went inside that big old pile, his helmet came off and just injuries eroded on him.
Yeah, it's really easy in those big melees for your helmet to pop off and end up catching a hard piece of equipment right to the dome. It's happened to me, and I've been on the giving side of that as well, so I know it hurts. It looks like it is going to be the knee. Let's hope it's not something serious, that he's able to come off the field under his own power.
Yeah. It's kind of sad to see these kind of injuries happen to kids so young.
It is, but that is the nature of the beast here. They know they're playing a violent sport in football, and I guarantee you if you go and ask any of these kids if they could go back and change anything, none of them would.
Well, it looks like he's at least sitting up now, so
that's good.
Good sign there. And, boy, that kid was just hustling. Kept his lead, wouldn't go down.
Oh, yeah.
Might have just got twisted funny or something.
Persistence kind of gives you the good and the bad. It's good to see him up.
Let's hope that's all it is, just a twisted knee. Those knee injuries can be pretty bad. I blew out my right knee my last year with Solano, and it ended up taking away the last 5 games of my season there, the last season I had. So, injuries are never fun. I never like to see a kid hurt. It really can be a heartbreaking situation.
Wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, it looks like it might be his left knee. Hard to tell, though. He's kind of walking gingerly on both.
Mm-hmm.
And so, boy, Poteet, he's had an impact on this game.
And that is a huge loss for Napa if he can't get back out there on that field.
They got a lot of guys, though, that can carry the ball.
Definitely, that is
We'll find
correct.
out how effectively. Beaver ready. In the pistol. fakes to Cantman. We don't know who has the ball, but Vacaville, they're going to tackle Beaver, and it's going to be a big loss.
Big Jeremy Sweeney getting back there to make first contact and bring him down for about a loss of 10. It looks like there was just some confusion there on that read option. One of them wanted it, and one of them wanted to take it, and they got a little confused there.
Yep.
Beaver finally did, and then he looks up, and he's got the state champion in wrestling, big 91, Jeremy Sweeney.
State champ freestyle wrestler, state champ wrestler, state placer in freestyle and Greco-Roman, and lineman of the year last year, trying to make a case for why he should repeat this year.
Big dog Sweeney.
All right, so 2nd and 15. Beaver set. He's going to throw it deep. Got a receiver, but a little bit too far. That was Austin Aaron, the intended receiver that time.
Beavers pass downfield on the left side, falls in.
I was really hoping not to see a flag going on that one because he really did put his hands on him. But, hey, that's called good defense when they don't throw the flag and you're just really getting in the wide receiver's face.
Yeah, it looked like both of them kind of touched each other mutually a little bit. I don't think either one really pushed off, but contact is going to happen. It's unavoidable. I like it when refs are a little bit more stingy on throwing that PI flag.
Oh, yeah, let the players play.
So Kyle Beaver once again running over to the sideline, getting the play directly from Coach Mott. He's set. Running backs on each side. He's going to go back. He's going to put this one up. He's going for Austin. Nice catch.
Is it complete?
And the
is that going to be a catch?
Reception is good as the official gives the good sign there, signals it is a catch.
Great catch by Austin Aaron out there, showing why he's such an athlete, making that catch just before going out of bounds and picking up, well, close to the first down. It's now 4th and inches, folks, by about 1 link on that chain.
Yeah, this kid, Austin Aaron, just a junior. He already holds 2 career records in receiving, most career touchdowns and most yardage by a Napa receiver.
I think the problem with this one's going to be, can Napa capitalize with all this defensive power and the audience really getting involved right here?
All right, here we go. Big play. Beaver under center. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to surge ahead. He's going to pick up the first down. Nice blocking up front by the big boys, David, on the O-line.
They're going to pick it up just barely. That was really a stalemate up front. No one winning, but just enough to fall forward and pick up the first right behind big 76. Eggert, number 66 up there. Trevor Papas leading the way on that first down carry.
And the Indians really using a lot of clock. Remember, this is just their first possession here in the second half. We're already down past the 4-minute mark.
And that is their goal, to waste as much time as possible.
Poteet set. He's going to give it to 23, I think, or 27. Nielsen, he's going to fight for yards. He's going to pick up about 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
You know, I missed him coming in, but number 45, Daniel Agbige, is back in after recovering from an elbow injury.
Yeah, we weren't sure if we were going to see him at the middle linebacker spot tonight.
It looks like he was a game-time decision. They're going to throw him in there in the second half, see if he can't make an impact on this defense. Got a nose for the ball and is definitely a hard hitter.
All right, so Manny Aguirre lining up in the Wildcat. He's going to take the snap directly. He's going to try to cut up the middle, but not much there.
And, you know, that shows you just a little bit of the range in that Napa playbook. They've, like you said, in the first half, jumped around from so many different formations, from trips to bunch trips to doubles to the pistol to the Wildcat. I mean, they're all over the place, and that has got to play a factor in the chess match that both these coaches are playing on each sideline.
Well, Troy Mott, the head coach, former Solano Community College quarterback back in 89 and 90, and he's got his team trying to take the lead. Beaver in the pistol. He's going back. He's looking for his big receiver, and there might be a flag. No call. Excellent timing by the Bulldog. And who else? 44, Connor Canellis.
Connor Canellis is a playmaker for this defense. He's all around the field, and I'm surprised by that one, that no flag came out. It looked like he might have got there a little early.
He might have, but, hey, when you're that good and you can read the quarterback's eyes that well, if I was a ref, I'll give it to him too.
Just on sure merit. Hey, good job, kid. No flag.
No flag. No flag.
And that was Devin Gorsuch. The wide receiver, he was Beaver's intended target. So now Napa, they're going to go for the field goal here, about a 32-yarder, and DeHaro, he's been perfect on the season, 4 for 439, the longest. Here's the kid. It's up.
No good. Wide left.
Wow.
Boy, that was close, wasn't it?
And this is huge. This gives the Bulldogs their first opportunity of the game to go up here.
That's crazy. I've seen Napa play Vanden, and they know how to go in the ground game. So to see Vacaville's defense really push that hard and put them up to 3, and they miss this 3, something's going to change.
You know what? This Vaca High offense has this little bit of a warm, fuzzy feeling going on right now after that stop, and I'm telling you, they want to make something happen right here.
The former
this is huge for
Bulldog
them.
getting excited.
He can it's like
feel
I'm
it.
on the field right now. I know this feeling. I've been there with these guys.
Well, it was a big play by Connor Canellis to break up the pass play.
Definitely.
All right,
huge
so
play.
then Napa decides to go for it, and then DeHaro misses his first kick on the year. He had been perfect, 4 for 4. So Vacaville, they're going to try to take the lead here. They got a ways to go. 80 yards of real estate if they want to take the lead, and not starting well on this drive. I think it's going to be a penalty against the Bulldogs.
It looks like some type of illegal motion, perhaps.
And so Vacaville,
You know, not good to shoot yourself in the foot after such a great stop right there.
So Vacaville backed up now. It's going to be 1st and 15 as they start this drive. Third quarter, winding down, a little over 2 minutes left. Hecking under center. He's set. Mewborn in motion. Gives it to the first guy up the middle. Nothing going.
Stuffed.
Boy, number 56 for the defense. Ruben Gonzalez, the outside linebacker. Excellent stop.
Back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 15.
So the ball's going to stay right there. It's going to be 2nd down and 15.
You know, and I missed it. Number 51, Miles McCardle, also in on that play. A name we haven't called too much tonight, but definitely making his impact felt with that one.
6'3", 240
Hecking set,
pounds.
Mewborn in motion. Fake by Hecking. He's being pursued by, it looked like DeHari on the blitz, and a pickup by 31. He's at the 5-yard line. Big turnover by the Bulldogs, and Napa in business, trying to take the lead in this one with a minute 23 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Bad decision by Chad Hecking on that one. I know he's young, he's still a junior, but sometimes taking the sack is better than giving away the ball. Take the sack on that one.
Chelsea's going through the roster like we did, David, trying to find 31. He ain't
He's not there.
But once
Dang
again,
it.
we've had to call his number. He's made a few big plays tonight. None bigger than that one so far, as the Indians are set up
Biggest
here
thing for Chad to
trying
do,
to break
have a
this
short memory.
tie.
Come back and score the next time.
All right, Beaver under center. He gives it. No, he gave it to the first guy through. That's probably Campman, stopped at the line of scrimmage.
You know, it's been a battle in the trenches all night, just like every game we've covered here at Vaca High. This undersized Vaca High line, both on offense and defense, has absolutely no quit. They don't know the meaning of the word. They will not ever give up on you. That's why there's some dogs, and they're playing a heartfelt game.
All right, so the Indians break the huddle. Poteet, now he's got 2 backs beside him, 1 behind him. Nielsen is the tailback, and Beaver's going to give it to him. He tries to break it off tackle, maybe picks up a few, probably down to about the 3, maybe the 2-yard line.
These Bulldogs really know how to just break away this offensive line, because as soon as that ball is in motion, it's just a whole lot of black. It's like a black hole just consuming whoever has that football.
Well, if you notice, up front at the D-line, they do a great job of playing gap control. Getting in there, not getting pushed out of their gaps, which allows their linebackers to scrape over the top, find that running back, and get him down before he's able to make a big gain.
So Manny Aguirre now in as the quarterback. And they're going to, looks like they were going with kind of what I'd call that elephant backfield. You got 3 backs, plus you got Manny Aguirre, and he's probably in there because of his running ability. In fact, if you look at his stats on the year, he's rushed 31 times for almost 200 yards, over 6 yards, averaging a carry. He's got 2 touchdowns on the season.
Definitely, but you know what? In these goal line stands when you're on defense, I was mostly a defensive player throughout my football career. you have a little bit of more fire in your belly, a little bit more will and drive to make that stop. You're willing to put your head in there just that much harder to get in there and get that stop. You want to not let your teammates down, and you want to give your guys the ball back with a chance to go up still. You really don't want to let the Indians get in right here.
Oh, yeah. I used to play football as well. My dad always said somebody had to have that eye of the tiger. Somebody had to be half smart and all crazy. So with this momentum that the Napa team has, 3rd and goal, can these kids get crazy? Can these guys have just the eye of the tiger? Can they get loose? We'll find out right now.
Huge interception by 31.
Huge.
That's really set up Napa here. So big opportunity for Napa to take the lead.
Hold your water, Vaca High. Don't jump. Biggest thing.
3rd and goal. Beavers got it. Throwing to the far side. He's got a receiver. He goes up, and he's going to make the catch out of bounds. Hard to see. I'm going to guess that was Quinn May.
Great coverage by DeLon Stevens, one of the only guys on this Vaca High team that has the height to go up with some of these Napa wide receivers.
Boy, and no doubt about what Beaver was doing on that play. Took the snap, 3-step drop, looking for his big receiver, Beaver, on the far side of the field, and just threw it a little bit too far. May came down with the catch, but out of bounds.
If I was Beavers, I would take the jump ball with Quinn May or Austin Aaron any day.
All right, so we got about a 21-yard field goal by DeHaro,
and
he knocks it through, so Napa back on top, but just by 3 as the 3rd quarter winding down. We got 4 seconds left. Napa up over the Bulldogs 45-42. Pretty exciting game thus far, wouldn't you say?
Oh, of course. Even though Napa got that interception, it was really nice to see how Vaca High can really just show that defense and show that they cannot get into their end zone. I would like to say, if whose house is this, Vaca High is really showing it's the dog's house right here.
And two, you go back to that big interception by 31. And again, we wish we could tell you his name. He's not on the roster that we received. But really good pressure by DeHario, the safety. It was the safety blitz, and he really forced Hecking out of the pocket, and Hecking really kind of threw that one up for grabs. 31 came in, big pick, and that's the reason why Napa's up by 3.
It really was a pressure interception, and you know what? That's just one of those decision-making things that come with age. He's a young guy, he's a junior. I guarantee he doesn't make that same mistake again.
So line drive by DeHario. He's going to send the ball. And again, David, I think you're absolutely right. You catch the ball in the end zone, cannot bring it out. And DeHario, he's been money booting that thing into the end zone once they got rid of those squib kicks.
Yeah, I don't know why they were squibbing it in the first half when you can consistently put it in the end zone. And you know what? I don't know the first half, a whole quarter ago, but let's remember in the first half, every scoring play for this Vaca High offense came on big plays. No sustained drives, no, 12, 15 play drives, just happen to be big ones that broke. So don't be surprised if they score quickly right here and take the lead.
All right, Hecking under center as he's been all night. And Mewborn in motion. Hecking's going to throw it to him. He's got him. No one's going to catch him. Watch him just spread the distance like watching a track runner leave the field, and Vacaville takes the lead.
Okay, I'm not sure what the record is on touchdowns in a game, but he might just be going for it. That's 5.
Well, at least they're going to set the family record.
This is 5 touchdowns for David alone. His brother has 2. Collectively, they have 7. This is the Mewborn brothers. My buddy Mike over here, Big Mike on the production team, gave me the best nickname I think I've heard in sports in a long time. We might as well just call them Mewtwo. Any UKIs in my generation, Pokemon kids, know what Mewtwo is.
The next student who brings up Pokemon on one of our broadcasts is getting an F in the class.
Hey, it wasn't me. Mike told me to do it. Blame it on Big Mike.
All right, Escobedo with the PAT.
Okay.
And it's good. So Vacaville, they finally take a lead in this game as we head into the fourth quarter, 49-45 still. 12 minutes of exciting football left for you folks. We'll be back after a short break.
I'm glad I said that right before they scored a touchdown.
Hello, Hello everyone, Ashley Lyons here at the Solana Community College Broadcasting Studio. I'm here to tell you about a very great event coming up on October 30th called Dig for Pink. The Solana Community College Lady Falcons will be playing Yuba College in a very intense volleyball match. And all proceeds, that includes concession sales, ticket sales, everything will be going towards breast cancer awareness. So come out and support a great cause and also watch a very intense match between these two leading teams. Thank you, and have a very pink October.
Well, David, we got 12 minutes left, and Vacaville, first time they've had a lead, but boy, not up by much, only up by 4. And we've seen what this Napa defense or this Napa offense has been able to do.
You know, the fact that they're up by 4 and not a field goal, though, is a very, very pertinent fact right now, because that forces the Indians to have to score a touchdown to get back in this game. A field goal just isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, and when you compare the kicking games, certainly you would give the edge to the Indians with Dahario.
Oh, definitely. A kid as accurate as Dahario, only missing 1 on the season, just coming in this last quarter. Shoot, I mean, if you get within 20 yards, let him kick the ball, but a field goal just isn't going to cut it right here.
Yeah, unless you can contain number 9.
Which has not worked out very well for them.
Well, they've stopped him at times. You just can't do it every time. And boy, Mewborn, he gets a step on somebody, he's gone.
But you know, that was one of my keys of the game for this Napa High team, was to stop David. Well, frankly, both the Mewborn brothers, and they have not been able to do that consistently enough tonight.
So Beaver said he's in the pistol, 2 backs behind him, fakes to the first guy, gives it to the second, and a couple yards on the ground.
And, you know, this Vaca High defense largely doing all of its work by committee. I mean, I can't look down there and tell you one guy that is just blowing it away. Really, all of them are just playing great and doing their jobs. And as long as you do your job, you're going to have success.
So Vacaville lines up, 2nd and 10. Indians down for the first time. They give us to the second guy, and oh my goodness, 21, or actually was that 21 comes up to make the hit. Chris Irving, defensive end.
Number 21.
I always get thrown off. I'm so used to that being a safety's number.
Course.
He didn't have far to go from the DN spot, but boy, he put a lick on the running back.
Yes, he did. Chris Irving looks like a safety, hits like a lineman.
And Poteet still on the sideline. He's got his knee iced, will not be coming back into this one.
Yeah, I doubt if we see Poteet back in this game.
So big 3rd and 10 here for the Indians. First possession here in the 4th quarter, down by 4. This time Beaver's going to fake. He's going to go for his big receiver, May, and just over his outstretched arms. Pretty good coverage there by DeLon Stevens, although the folks on the Napa sideline sure don't think so.
You know,
they'd like to see an interference call. I thought it was
siding with I'm siding with the guys on the Napa sideline here a little bit. I think DeLon just had a little too much contact going up for that ball against Quinn. Quinn had him a little bit beat. DeLon did what he had to do to make sure the ball wasn't complete and got away with the lucky one.
Yeah, I thought he got there about the time that the ball did. And, too, you got to give the guy a break. He's given away like 6 inches.
True.
And we got another Napa player.
No, that's DeLon. That's DeLon down. Not sure what he did. It looks like it could be an ankle.
Yeah, and he's not too far away from Derek Poteet, sitting about 20 yards away. And he's going, I know what you're feeling right now.
And it's never a good feeling to be on the sideline knowing that you are stuck there and you can't do anything to come back in and help your team.
You know, and David, to go back to your initial keys of the game, I also remember that one of the keys that you had for Vacaville, they've got to stop Austin Aaron. And I think Vacaville has been pretty successful in their coverage of the top receiver for the Indians.
They have done a great job on that. Austin has gotten loose for 1 touchdown, but largely he's only had, I think, maybe 2 or 3 catches. So largely they've done a good job in containing Austin Aaron, who really you can only hope to contain because you're not going to stop him.
So on the incomplete pass on 3rd down, Vacaville comes up with the stop, brings up 4th and 10. So the Indians are going to have to punt this one away. Big stop by the Bulldogs after finally taking the lead.
Huge stop by the Bulldogs. This allows them to go up by another score and really begin to put this game just that much more out of reach of the Indians. And it's a good time to get hot, good time to move ahead and really start to get something going here in the fourth quarter.
So Dahario there showing off his many talents in this game, also doing the punting and little rugby-style kick. Rolls out of bounds at about the 42-yard line of the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs, once again, pretty good field position.
And, you know, we see that first drive we were talking about Derek Poteet being out. That was the first drive without him, and it looked like it seemed to have an impact on that Napa offense.
So this goes to number 6, and he's going to take it to the house. Oh, my goodness, DeMonte Moore. He's got a touchdown. He's saying, my name's not Buborn, but I can still score a TD for these Bulldogs.
And DeMonte was one of those young guys I mentioned earlier in this game who's only a junior and is starting to really come into the varsity-type speed, as Pop put it. And right there, he shows it beautifully. Once you give him some space to work, he turns the speed on, 6 points.
And where Vacaville has really been successful tonight is their running game, especially going against the grain. They get the defense moving one way, run the trap to the other side of the field. They have really been successful with that scheme tonight.
It is really blowing my mind that all of these scores, big play after big play after big play, no sustained drives, no long clock-eating type of we're going to pound it type of drive. It's all just great blocking that happens to happen on the play that the guy that needs the ball gets it in his hands, and they make 6 out of them.
Yeah, well, that offensive line, too. We've talked about the Napa Indians, but, boy, the Vacaville Bulldog O-line really starting to take over the game. Jeremy Sweeney, of course, the tight end, but he's like having a second O-tackle up there. You got Stevie Gomez and Dalton Spears, the 2 tackles, Devin Kelly and Clayton Kazurza, the guards, and Daniel Woolbridge, the center. They have really been playing well, especially in this second half. And what a different half.
Definitely a different half than we saw in the first. So much less scoring, and Napa looking to be affected by injuries and maybe a little bit of fatigue now. Those long drives, as great as they are for eating up the clock, tend to tire your players out.
Well, still a ways to go, 10-20 remaining in this one. And so Vacaville now up 56-45. 11-point lead for the Bulldogs. They finally get a little space here because they've been fighting from behind. And, boy, it looked like they were never going to catch Napa, especially in the first half.
Very true, Pop, very true. I'm interested to see what this Napa Indian offense does without Derek Poteet.
So another squib kick. Bounces right about the 25-yard line, fielded by an Indian, dancing through. That's
number 17, Austin Aaron.
And so Aaron trying to have an impact on this game any way possible, has not been able to do much from the receiving end. And in fairness to Austin Aaron, it really has looked tonight like Quinn May, and especially with his great size, but only an inch taller than Austin Aaron, but that's been kind of the go-to guy for Kyle Beaver. Well, let's see who he goes to now. Napa down by 10, really need to get something going offensively.
You know, they've been going to Campton a lot tonight, but if they hope to have any success on the ground with Derek out, they're going to have to go right back to number 10.
Now Kyle Beaver lines up right behind center. One back, he's going to pitch it to him, trying to get to the near side of the field, number 31, and he's driven out of bounds, picks up maybe 5-6 yards on the play, and Connor Canellis once again doing a great job pursuing the ball carrier that time.
Did a great job stretching that play out, forcing him to the sideline, not giving him option to cut up a gap. Connor Canellis all over that heads-up play by the DB on that one.
Drew Chitwood, too, one of the defensive backs. Good job in pursuit as well.
And if you noticed, while Connor was stringing it out, he had about 5 or 6 Bulldogs chasing down number 21 from behind. So number 21's lucky he got out of bounds on that one.
2nd and 8, Poteet in the shotgun. Runner in motion and a fumble. And I think that was number 21, Kevin Massey, the cornerback, coming in, getting a carry here.
You know, and he's
fumbled
lucky.
On the exchange.
He's lucky he was able to pick that one back up, turning the ball back over and giving it to the Bulldogs this close to their end zone, already up by 11. Could have started to end up being nails and coffins for this Napa team.
And really, the Indians have only put up a field goal here, and that's a result of the big interception. So the Vacaville defense much more dominating here in the second half.
Able to be much more stingy in this half.
All right, big third down play here, and Beaver, he's going to get dropped for a loss again. Number
Chris
21
Irving.
in on the play. Absolutely right. Chris Irving, the D end in there.
Jeremiah Lamau and Chris Irving splitting that sack. Irving picking up his second one of the night, and Lamau picking up his first. And, you know, that's a thing that I was telling you about earlier. Chris's speed really allows him to, once he gets past an offensive lineman, to close distance so quick that these quarterbacks really don't have a chance.
So another big stop by the black shirts forced the Indians to punt this one away. DeHario back at his own 10. Rugby-style kick, gets his leg into this one. It's going to drive 35 back, and he's just going to let this one roll around. It's going to settle down right about the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs.
Great field position for this Bulldog offense. If they're able to turn this into points right here, this could really start to get out of hand.
Yeah, a couple first downs, and Vacaville could be on their way to putting another win in the bank. And what a crushing defeat this would be for Napa. They've played so well, and really what is a must-win game for them if they want any chance of trying to win another male title.
It really
it's been
is.
a while for the Indians.
Yeah, and, you know, if they go down 2-0 tonight against the Bulldogs in MEL, there really isn't much of a chance to come back after that and have any hopes of being the title holder at the end.
All right, checking up to the line of scrimmage. Sweeney in motion. Lines up on the other side, and this time he's going to give it to 6. Trying to get to the sideline, cuts it back in, and he's going to be stopped by a couple Indians. Good job by the defensive front that time.
Good job controlling their gaps and just stringing that play out and waiting for their linebackers to scrape across to be able to make plays.
And
D-line
31,
playing good on both sides.
Yeah, 31, the corner on the far side, had that big interception. Nice containment there. And so he's going out. He's going to be on Tanner Donaldson. Don't expect the Bulldogs to throw here. 7:28 remaining in this game. Vacaville up by 10, and they fake. Now they go to the outside, and that's Mewborn again. And he's going to pick up a first down.
David Mewborn not able to be stopped or even for the most part slowed down that much tonight. I mean, like you said, they have been able to stop him, but very inconsistently and nowhere near enough. He's got 5 touchdowns tonight.
How many yards do you think he has? We don't have official stats here.
I would not be surprised to see it in anywhere close to 300, somewhere around there. I mean,
Yeah, he's
most
had a
of his
lot of
plays
big
have been
runs.
from 50 yards out or more.
So that's going to put him over or close to 1,000 yards rushing on the season.
1,000 yards rushing and probably close to 1,200 all-purpose, if not more.
All right, this time the give is to number 6 for the Bulldogs, trying to get to the far sideline. Picks up 3-4 yards on the play. Number 6, DeMonte Moore. DeMonte Moore getting a lot of carries here in the second half, looking pretty impressive.
And, you know, he's only a junior. Like I said, he's got another year with this Vaca High offense and this coaching staff. Watch out for him to be a huge key to this team next year. He already is making his impact felt this year. He's a great ball player, young kid. Going to be a great talent next year.
Boy, and Connor Canellis coming back as well in that backfield.
Definitely.
Things looking pretty good for Vacaville in 2014, but still some work to do in this one. Up by 11. Hecking this time. Gives it to the first guy through, and he's going to pick up or at least be close to a first down. We'll see where they spot it, but I think it's enough.
As long as they keep picking up these first downs on the ground and eating up chunks of time, it looks like this could very easily end in Vaca High's favor. However, don't count these Napa Indians out. They're a well-disciplined team. They're not going to give up. They still have that bad taste in their mouth from last week. And really, as we saw in the first half, both these teams are only a couple big plays away from tying it up, making it a game again.
Well, Napa will need some. They're going to need a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal. So they need a stop here. Vacaville keeps it on the ground, picks up a couple yards there. Kane Cunningham was the ball carrier last time. This time it looks like it's number 30 on the carry, Demetrius Nunez. So Nunez, another guy that's getting some carries here in the second half.
And you know that time is starting to come off quicker and quicker with each second. So the window is starting to close on these Napa High Indians if they want to try to make a run at getting back in this game and taking the lead back. They're going to have to score onside kick, score an onside kick to be able to get it. And if Vacaville picks up another first down, I just don't think they'll have the time or the luck to be able to make that happen.
All right. They give now to Moore again, and he fights for about 6 yards on the carry, maybe 5. We'll see where they spot it over on the far side of the field. So DeMonte Moore, so Nunez and Moore getting the carries here. And Vacaville just trying to run the clock out and get this win in the books.
And if you saw there at the end, young little DeMonte Moore dropping his shoulder pad to pick up a couple more on the end. I like to see that in my running backs.
Yeah, getting that low trajectory, getting his legs churning under him, and really getting some power staying low to the ground.
Football is a low man's game, and the low man always wins.
You know that well, my friend.
Yes, I do.
remember your days at Solano. All right. Hecking set. He's going to give it to Mewborn, and oh, my God, look at the speed. There he goes. Is that number 6?
That's number 6.
And that's going to put this thing away.
David Mewborn, again, 6 touchdowns. This is starting to get ridiculous. I mean, it was ridiculous at 4. 6 touchdowns in one game? I mean, this kid is averaging a touchdown and a half a quarter.
That's silly.
Yeah, you can't really get a half a touchdown, but still 6 touchdowns in a 4-quarter game of football. How is this happening? I don't understand it. And again, not a long drive, couple big plays, there and there.
So Vacaville up 62-45, trying to get it to 63. Escobedo puts this one through.
And you know what? 4 minutes and 10 seconds, being up by 18. This may be just out of reach of the Napa High Indians at this point.
Well, and you really talk about football being a game of adjustments. And I remember talking to Chelsea after the first half, and she was telling me how disappointed Coach Pop looked, especially with the defense. Well, whatever Coach Pop said to that defense, boy, they've held Napa to a field goal.
Huge difference from the first half.
Exactly.
I mean, crazy difference from the first half.
Napa threw up 42 on the Bulldogs in the first half.
42 points in the first half as opposed to 3 in about the last 16 minutes of play. It's kind of amazing.
Look at the other teams that Vaca played. You know, Granite Bay. They didn't get 42 in the first half. They got 46 for the whole game.
Yep. But you know what? Vaca High knows how to play in these games. These ones that come down to the wire, that are always the ones that are close, whether it's big scores or you know, just a couple points on the board.
Where does that come from, David?
Who does that? What that urge of never giving up? They have a culture here. This culture at Vaca High has been here for since Coach Zanino was here years ago. It's just always been bred into these guys that you never give up. You play for the man next to you, and Coach Pop and all the guys over there have largely been able to keep this culture of football that exists at Vaca High alive and thriving.
Well, you look at Coach Papadopoulos, 9th year here at Vacaville, 82-25 overall. He's got 2 section titles. Last one just a couple years ago, 2011. Another one in 2006. I think you were around then, weren't you, David?
I was on that team. I was a junior. Didn't quite get as much playing time in that game as I would have liked. Pop, if you're listening, there you go. But Pop is a great guy. He's a great coach. He makes his players want to play for him, and they show up every day to really put their bodies on the line for this team.
Well, he has certainly continued with the tradition of winning here at Vacaville High School.
Yeah, when you play for Black and Orange and you're used to putting that on, every Friday night, you do have a certain sense of pride. I mean, under this, I probably have my Vaca High stuff on right now. I won't tell you if that's true or not, but there's a possibility.
Well, interesting enough, you look over to our left side, you got a couple of the Will C. Wood JV coaches doing a little scouting. Boy, that's going to be a pretty good matchup, especially when you look at Wood and the way that they handle business against this Napa team right here at Tom Zanino Field last week.
That's the biggest win that Wood has had in years against a Napa team that has dominated them for the past decade or more. And, looking at the MEL standings, seeing Vaca High and Wood number 1 and number 2 is something that I don't think I've ever seen since I started playing football. Wood is always hovering right around the bottom, and Vaca's always right at the top. But it is kind of refreshing to see them doing well, and it gives the Black and Blue Bowl a little bit more importance this year. Well, the Black and Blue Bowl could end up being the MEL title game.
Oh, I think we're definitely headed in that direction.
It could very well happen, and if it does, that'll be the first time I think that has ever happened.
Because they'll play Vintage, I think, next week, and we're going to try to bring that game to you here on the Solano College Sports Network. So Beaver's going to pitch it wide to 31. Wish I could tell you his name. He's had such a big game for the Indians. Kid's just playing his tail off, and they're trying to bust one to the near side, but not able to do it. Good pursuit there.
We have 29 and 32. So 31, whoever you might be, you're doing a great job tonight, kid. Keep it up.
Well, I really thought that interception was going to turn things around for Napa.
And you know, Vaca High did a great job dealing with it.
Absolutely. They had the ball down at the 3rd-yard line. Vaca able to hold and force the field goal. That's been it for the Indians. All right, Beaver still trying to get something on the board here. He's going to throw it over the middle. Ooh. That's Quinn May, and boy, he took a shot there.
Quinn May taking a huge hit from Daniel Mewborn. Daniel letting this Vaca High crowd know he can play some defense as well as he can run the ball.
Boy, I like Quinn May. He popped right up.
Yeah, he's seeing a couple stars, though, as he jogs off.
Boy, certainly a gallant effort by the Napa Indians tonight in a game they
really
needed.
Definitely.
And boy, what a tough task coming into Tom Zunino Stadium,
definitely.
Needing a win against this.
You know, these guys are class personified. We have the utmost respect, or both these teams have the utmost respect for each other. We always had the utmost respect when I was here playing. The coaches always told us at practice, these guys are going to come in here and kick your butt, so you better be ready this week.
So Beaver rolling, knocked out of bounds. Might be a late hit there by Connor Canellis.
It's going to be a helmet-to-helmet from number 44 right there, leading with his hat. He looks like he might be,
I think he might be
feeling that
there.
one a little bit too as he runs over to the sideline.
And nothing intentional. That kid, he's just trying to make a play.
No, he's not trying to hurt anyone. He's just out there playing football as hard as he can play football. And, you know, those hits are going to happen, whether they're meant or not. Helmets are going to hit. You play football. It's a physical game.
And you were talking about Napa, of course. Head coach Troy Mott, former quarterback at Solano Community College, actually still holds one of the passing records at Solano for highest career completion. And that's 63%.
While we're talking about records, you mentioned the one that Austin Aaron holds, but can you tell me the guy that he broke it from or took it from?
Bill Buckner. I'm sure everybody knows about Bill Buckner playing for the Red Sox.
The most famous ground ball in baseball history went right between his legs.
Slow roller down the line. Gets by Buckner. Mookie scores. Billy Buckner, record broken by Austin Aaron. Most yards receiving. I think Buckner's record was about 1,236 yards. All right, so timeout by Vacaville. Deuces wild when you look at the scoreboard. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left.
You know, as we approach the end of this one, it's nice to see both these teams not getting dirty and not taking cheap shots at one another and just playing football the way it should be played up until the end.
Well, they know if they do it, they're going to hear from the coaches, right?
Oh, of course, of course. So there's no way Troy Mott or Mike would let any of their guys get away with that. That's just that kind of behavior is not acceptable at either one of these programs.
Well, folks, we hope you've enjoyed our broadcast tonight here on the Solano College Sports Network. And if you're listening to the game and you're taking classes at Solano, come see us in the TV studio, room 121, and take Communication Studies 75 next semester. We'd love to have you. We've got a place for you in our broadcasting crew. Might be behind the mic, might be you want to work on the board behind a camera, all kinds of fun stuff. It's like working for ESPN. Well, maybe we're not there yet, but we try hard, don't we?
A couple steps away, but you know, it's always fun. They could come talk some football with me.
All right, so Beaver looking deep, going to throw it up. It's going to be short, and it's going to be picked off by a Bulldog. And so down to 2 minutes 14. Bulldogs are probably going to run the clock out. Not sure. I think Napa may be out of timeouts. If they do have any remaining, it's just one. Not going to be enough to stop the clock here.
And, you know, if there was any hopes and dreams in this Napa team to come back in this one, that pick right there is kind of the death knell for that.
Yeah, I think that Mewborn run, that was a final nail, and this one just kind of sealed the door shut with the super glue.
The Mewborns were just too explosive, too athletic, too fast, refused to lose. I mean, they are some amazing ball players, and you know what? They were just too much for this Napa defense to handle tonight, along with their help. Some help from DeMonte Moore and Tanner Donaldson and Chad Hecking, and that big line up front. Not necessarily big in stature, but definitely big in heart, moving those Indians out of there.
How would you compare the Mewborn twins, David and Daniel, to some of the previous running backs? Quincy Forte comes to mind, and many great Vacaville running backs. How do these two compare?
You know, they're different than some of the guys that I played with. I didn't have the chance to play with Quincy, but
a little bit later.
Yeah, looking back, I mean, they're more of let's see, there was a guy named Kyle Kazurza who played wingback, not nearly as fast as either one of them, but same type of intelligence, same type of will, same type of, there for their team, just all around great football players. That's who they kind of remind me of. But they're a lot smaller than a lot of the running backs I played with. A lot of the running backs I played with happen to be stockier, shorter, more beefy guys that were going to bang the ball up in there. One guy that comes to mind that David really reminded me tonight was Johnny Feaster. Johnny Feaster was one of the best running backs I played with here. Stood up tall like David does, ran extremely fast like David does, and the second he got past first contact, it was most likely going to be a touchdown. So really, if there was one person that I played with that I would have to compare them to, it would be actually both of them. It would be Johnny Feaster.
Well, it looked like that Vacaville was just going to take a knee, but because of a penalty, the clock stops. It's going to back up Vacaville 5 yards. And so with a minute left, they're going to take a knee again. And the clock winding down. And that thing's just going to keep running. So we're just about done here at Tom Zannino Stadium. What a thrilling first half
Great
of
game.
Football.
Great football game. All around. The first half, so much different than the second one. Just as exciting in its own way. Both these teams playing to the end, both of them. Super classy organizations, know how to play football the way it's supposed to be played, have the utmost respect for one another, and really, I wish Troy Mott and the rest of this Napa team some success heading on to the rest of this MEL season.
Well, this is going to drop them to 4-4, but they've got 2 games remaining. If they can get both of those, and that should get them into the playoffs, get them to 6-4, and Napa's had a pretty good tradition of still getting an at-large playoff berth. Well, you saw Chad Heck take a knee for the final time. That's going to do it for us here at Tom Zannino Stadium. Vacaville able to really come from behind, a real offensive surge, and just blew past Napa in the second half, winning this one going away 63-45. Well, folks, it's going to be a busy next week for us with Solano College Sports Network. We're going to bring you a soccer game on Tuesday, volleyball against Yuba, and you saw Ashley Lyons' commercial. We really want you all to come out to that volleyball game on Wednesday, October 30th in the Solano Community College Gym. All of the proceeds will go towards breast cancer awareness, and then we'll be back here at Tom Zannino Stadium. David, you'll be with me again. We'll be bringing you a game by Will C. Wood. We'll see you next time, folks, here on the Solano College Sports Network. For David Pobb, I'm Greg Poff.
I'm David Taub. You're Greg Poff.
It's the last names that get me. We are tired, folks. We'll see you next time. Good night now.